new stuff.
As excited as I was when I got my audience to be able to get into Return, because I've always wanted to be able to get my audience into the games that I play and to build a community around those games. That's why I was so happy to be able to run my tournament.
Okay, that's good. This as well. I'm having to add a few things to the OBS Discord related stuff.
Okay.
There we go. Okay. I haven't told you that I have carpal tunneling, have I?
No.
Yeah, I have mild carpal tunneling. Now, Nicole just let me know the results of the test, and I have them on both hands. Fun.
Fortunately, this is not like Path of Exile 1, where face roll builds are very common. There is more of a interactional at your pace level of gameplay. And it has a pause menu. You can pause the game at any time, but not inside of high-level encounters.
Okay.
Or rather, I should say, certain end-game boss encounters. The similar mechanic that was instituted on that boss, the Chronos Titan of Hades 2. But, of course, many of those people were friend slop / cozy gamers, so when they encountered such a mechanic, they hated that, the same way that they said, how dare you not have a pause menu in Dark Souls / Elden Ring.
Let me get Path of Exile opened up. Let's hope there isn't an update I need to do. I don't think there is.
If there's any update, it would be a small one. Always takes a bit. Alright. Compared to this game and the other one, when there's a circle cloud in your screen and it looks like it's raining fire from above, that's the loading screen. Or a version of the loading screen.
Well, I see the two gears, so that's currently what's happening.
Mm-hmm.
So things are loading. Hopefully by the time that fully loads, we can get started.
Once it fully loads, you should see a screen that says Path of Exile 2, The Last of the Druids, and then underneath it, in the center of the screen, should be a countdown timer that tells you when it will be releasing on May 29th during the PDD time for Return of the Ancients. That is an active clock, and it does actually have clickable, it has a clickable vector that will then bring you to the Path of Exile 2 website. In fact, during the time in which you were taking that video call, they put out a new teaser for 2 new uniques that are coming to the game. One of which is Facebreaker. What was it called? One is an armor, the other is the weapon.
Gotta log in. Give me a second.
The Auspix and the Facebreaker. On first boot up and after boot up for a while, sometimes it can take a while for it to tear out.
Oh, yes. There we go. Okay, so the log.
Welcome to the beginning of your addiction.
Ah, great. Comforting words to hear.
Better than sex, secondhand drugs. Okay, so my screen is going to look different than your screen because I have character profiles and you are a new player.
Yep. I'll stream mine. Let's just hope that doesn't cause any internet issues.
Okay.
While streaming.
That is the button. You click login.
Hang on. I guess I'll start it early then for the stream. Let me get those open, get to the main game, switch over there. Just wait for everything to hook up.
Okay. Are you ready?
Not yet. It's game hasn't captured just yet. This is on full screen, right?
It can be windowed, it can be borderless window, it can be borderless full screen, it can be exclusive full screen. If it's not presenting with game capture, you will have to use game window capture.
Should be doing game window capture. Let me go over here and find out what the problem is. Full screen application. Nah, I'll just change how the full screen works. That'll be fine. Or, you know what? I'll just do this. To make things easier. That's interesting. It's not showing the screen, so I may have to just do a window capture. That's fine.
Yeah, sometimes it doesn't want to show on game captures, so you have to use game window capture.
Well, yeah. Good. Alright, got that hooked up. Alright. Everything should be showing. Audio is showing. Voice is showing. Okay, we're all good. Alright. So I just start by logging in?
Yes, first you push the button. Now you are going to get a different screen than I do, because since you do not own a character, it is going to attempt to start you off by having you choose a class. So, it is very important, the choice that you make here, at the minimum, at least with what you want to start learning on.
Yeah.
So, the first character that you make in the league is what we call a league starter. The idea is, getting a good fresh start is very, very critical to your overall mouthfeel of the game.
Okay.
Every class has a build that will get you to the end game, out of the campaign that we all consider to be a full-length tutorial. However, if you choose something that's difficult, and then you choose a agnostic style of play that can be difficult but rewarding, but you're not familiar with it, it can completely ruin your ability to play the game. Not very fun trying to play a game that's supposed to do, quote, max damage, and every 5 seconds you're getting raped and violated by the enemies in front of you.
Okay.
So, the same question I asked you before. I had asked you what class interested you most, and you said mercenary.
Yeah. That's what I'm having my button hovering over right now.
Okay.
So you want me to just go ahead and choose that out of all of them?
Yes. Because it's what you said that you would prefer.
Yep.
So now, it'll show you a window for typing your name, and this part here, underneath it, is a drop-down that shows you the differences of the challenge leagues. So, the current order as it exists is Standard, Hardcore, SSF, Solo Self-Found, Hardcore SSF, Fate of the Vol, which is the current patch league, which is what we call a challenge league. This basically means this is a ladder. That ladder, eventually, in 11 days, will be set, and you will have a new, fresh start for 0.5, Return of the Ancients. So all of the things over the lifetime career of the next 10 days that you have in Fate of the Vol is going to transfer into Standard, because all parent leagues and child leagues, SSF Fate of the Vol and Hardcore Fate of the Vol, stay inside of Fate of the Vol, or a version of Hardcore or Standard. Solo Self-Found is a parent league that stays inside of SSF. Hardcore is a league that if you die, your character slides into Standard, etc., etc. The reason why this is important is that the way that you set up your account with your stash tabs is dictated by your parent league. So if you wanted to play Fate of the Vol, SSF, the way that you set up your character account would be making something in Standard or inside of the league itself, and then setting that up so that every single league you have your stash tab exactly the way that you want it, every league that you want it. That and go ahead.
So you would want me to choose Fate of the Val then?
Yes,
in that case.
Yes, because this is going to feature content that's going to go core next season. So understanding this mechanic is going to be primary for you understanding everything that's core in the game. Because other challenge leagues, when they usually get introduced, pieces and parts of them go core, which means they become a part of core mechanics. So 0.5 and all of the shit that it had to offer, all of that is core content. What they'll be adding with Runes of Ardor, which is going to be the next challenge league, because the patch itself is the Ancients patch. The challenge league is Runes of Ardor. More than likely, that update to the Calgaran expansion content is going to be core content. It will become core content. So the more you learn about it, the more prepared you'll be to understand it. So you're going to make a character in Fate of the Vol, and I'm going to make a character in Fate of the Vol. That way we are in the exact same standard.
Yeah.
Choose literally anything you want.
Feral Asmirian, expelled from your mountain, you are wild at heart and wild of mind. Oh, how the glory of...
So, when you make the when you name the character and you pick your league, you press continue.
Alright.
So, the way that this works is, when you go through a character selection screen, the story is technically the same. It's just that this game involves timelines. So, from the viewpoint of your character, they are the leader and the hero of their story. Every other character that you don't pick gets killed on that stand. So the story of
That I just saw, yeah.
Yes. So the story is that there is a count in a town called Ogham who is being driven insane. And part of that insanity was him putting all those people on that stand to death. Your character, the one you pick, survives that encounter. It gets sent to the first level 1 zone, called the Riverbank.
Okay.
Now you get to choose your movement style. I highly suggest you use WASD.
Yeah. I may change it later on to my preferred directional keys, but that's later.
So now, when you're on the riverbank, the only place you can go is to the side that is available. You can use spacebar as a dash, and when you hold down space, as long as you hold down the spacebar, you will continue dodging in the direction that you are moving. This is called sprinting. If somebody hits you in sprint, you will get attacked as though you were heavy stunned, which means you get knocked to the floor, and you'll have to pathetically get back up, and while that's happening, enemies can hit you. So you don't want to get hit while sprinting.
Okay.
Now
I'm going to talk to the wounded man.
Yes, you have to progress forward. He gives you your weapon. In Exile 1, they would make you start on the beach, and they'd drop the weapon on the ground, and then you'd have to pick up the weapon to go kill the enemy. In this one, it's a cutscene, so he just does the thing for you.
The wrath in here is stronger than I dared imagine.
So you start with a crossbow. I have chosen the Huntress, which means I start with a spear.
Okay.
Now this zone here, in the riverbed, is full of enemies. You do not have to kill them, but to get used to combat, I would suggest you try attacking them. There's a chance that you could get something that you might want, like extra items and extra equipment. For example, I just got a shield off the ground, which will let me be able to hold defense against the enemy and use it in such a way that I can forego using the parry buckler that it's going to try to make me use on her, because this game really wants you to understand the core philosophy of how the character is supposed to be intended. As you make your way through the riverbed, you'll come across some large chests that will be glowing.
Swore I'd never wield one of these.
Should there be more than one, it means that one of them contains an item that it wants you to have, like the leather buckler the game made you pick up, and the other one is going to contain your first skill gem. In this game, unlike in Exile 1, you do not slot them into your gear. You instead slot it into your skill window. You can open up the skill window with the default key H.
Well, there's a skill gem, yep.
You can also, I think, right-click it in order to open it up.
Yeah.
And now, this is where reading the skill explains the skill. Are you using mouse and keyboard?
Yes. Yes, I am.
So when you hover over the skill, it will allow you to look at the determined content that is on the screen. When you hold down Alt, you'll see a little pen pop up. If you click that, it will pen the screen open, so you can hover over all of the things that are there that are tagged to the skill. You just gotta close the skill screen. It's gonna keep showing you that because it's trying to make you choose things like your ammo type or reload. Because that should dissipate. Because yeah, you have to load your ammunition. The crossbow has an ammunition recovery system, so it's probably still showing that because you need to reload the fragmentation grenade. Otherwise, I don't know why it's still showing skill gem at you. Okay.
Oh, there we
good.
go. Okay.
So now you open the skill window again,
BG, right?
and now you hover over the icon of the weapon, the gem, the physical gem.
Okay.
And now
Yeah,
you hold
yeah.
down Alt, and you see that little pin that comes up in the top right corner. Top right corner.
Here.
Yes. Click on that,
Yeah.
and now it's going to pin it open, so now you can read what it says. So this is one of the primary things you'll have to know about the game, because I explained this to you before, but this is the tag system. You see how everything's underlined?
Yeah.
That is keywords. So each of those keywords explains something that is attached to your skill that dictates what it is. So, if you were to look at my screen, you can see that my skill is different than your skill because we're using different weapons, obviously. But it also has similar tags. Reading the skill explains the skill in this game. Technically, it's supposed to be the same way in Exile 1, but that one's much more contextual and table-based. This one is as straight up as it says. So, fragmentation rounds. It's an area of effect skill. It's counted as ammunition. It's obviously a projectile. It is what we consider to be a payoff skill, and it does something called merging. Load your crossbow with piercing bolts that fragment in flight. Bolts that hit a frozen enemy will consume, freeze, and explode with shrapnel. Bolts that hit an ice crystal will cause that crystal to explode, and that those fragments can merge. If any of those things seem confusing, all you have to do is mouse over the underlined portion, and it will explain what that is and what that does.
Okay.
These are the mechanics of the skill. Some skills are as simple as set and forget and press button and it does a thing. But each of those things, integrally, as a part of the entire thing,
Going back now.
it all comes together. It all makes sense. It's supposed to make sense. Because it'd be kind of hard as fuck to be able to play a game that you don't understand what your buttons do.
The wind howls.
Okay, I'm gonna wait at the checkpoint while you.
I'm already there.
There's another checkpoint.
Or
there's two checkpoints.
oh, the next checkpoint. Okay.
So now you can run through the zone and try out your new skill and get a feel for what it feels like. Now, yes, those little bastards right there. Remember what that enemy looks like. In this phase of the game, those enemies are very hard because they hit hard, they shoot often, and they usually spawn in clusters. So now you can get used to the feel of what your weapons feel like and how your skills work. Now when it comes to your left click, right click, even though most games usually are like, I don't need to use my basic attack. Why would I want to use my basic attack when I can use Summon Almighty Fist of the Heavens? In this game, your left click is as much as important as every other skill in your tree. So that means the basic attack rate of your crossbow, any of the normal bolt attacks that it has on your skill tree, those things scale with your level and with your weapon's damage. And sometimes, some builds don't use the basic attack. But for your build, until you get stronger skills, yours will. So now you're at the second checkpoint.
Yeah.
I'll let you explore that bottom area.
Oh no, a horde. Whatever shall I do?
And here's a number one example of why it's important to use your normal attack. It's because you run out of mana.
Yeah. And I just switch it that way? Okay. Okay.
So now you arrive at the second checkpoint. This is the first boss of the game. It is known as the Miller.
Yeah, 1 second. I'm gonna do some. Actually, is there a way to remove these?
Yes. You drag them off, or you click the X. You click the X. The X. Under actions.
Oh. Oh.
Not that one.
No.
The big X.
Oh. I'm stupid.
You're just.
Okay.
It's just new. So now,
Okay.
past that checkpoint, whenever you contact a checkpoint, you can always be able to respawn at it should you need to. And this is your first boss, the Miller. Good luck.
Okay. Oh, great.
This is where the Dark Soulish aspect of the game comes in. Many people are not used to facing bosses like this. They're used to or Diablo 2-esque kind of fights. But for this one, in this game, it is actually very, very easy and very simple to face the boss. Because he's just going to have his health bar on the screen. And something that you can do during the fight is that you can pause it, should you need to. And you can basically be able to look at the effects that you're doing to him. So, if I were to pause the screen right here.
Like right this? Okay.
You can pause the screen, and you can see that the health state of the boss will still be there, and you can even see effects that are there. Now, I have to unpause my game to show this, but you can keep yours paused so you can look at my screen. This effect
Which is what I'll do.
This effect right here that the boss is being affected with is the effect of his whirlwind attack, called Whirling Slash. This whirlwind stacks up to multiple phases, and while he's standing inside of it, he gets blinded. So he gets reduced accuracy and reduced evasion. With this shield that I'm wearing, because I happen to be using the shield, which is not working because apparently he's just backhanding the shit out of me, there is a stun bar above your flask pool, should you ever decide you want to use martial combat skills. Since this is an armor shield, it gains the ability that I can be able to use it to block hits, and then when I do, I can be able to retaliate with a light stun that will do stun to the boss, which accumulates underneath his bar. And if he doesn't take damage over a certain period of time, that stun bar will begin to dissipate. Same for you, same for the enemy.
Okay. Are the maps randomly generated?
Yes. The tiles,
Okay,
the tile set are randomly generated, but in campaign there are pathfinding mechanics that exist for you to figure out where things are, and they are going to be intrinsing that even more into the next season.
Interesting. All right.
In the
I
beginning,
guess I'll continue where I left off then.
yes. Because you kill the Miller, he'll give you your first drop pool, and then you'll be able to enter into town. There is a bit of speedrunning tech where if you drag them all the way to the bottom of the map where you don't see the little pinwheel that's in front of the front door, you'll be able to speed run through the barrier faster and get to the checkpoint of the door faster. But that's just speedrun tech. You don't have to do that. Of course, if you were league starting and you're like, I gotta get to the campaign as fast as possible, that's something you would do, a little micromanagement to give you a faster period of time. And because you're a new player, you get an achievement item reward of a smoking pipe. Your first free MTX.
Not that one. The other one. There we go.
Yes, over in your screen under inventory, there are two folder headings. One is your main inventory, and then you see over there, next to the X in the top right corner, there's a folder top that looks like a manila that says cosmetics.
Oh.
And here's the passive screen.
Later.
But yeah, right above
Where
that,
did you say it was?
on the other side of the screen, on the opposite side of the inventory header. Inventory, and then look across from the inventory line where it goes inventory, then the big letter at the top of inventory, other side,
Cosmetics.
cosmetics.
Okay,
So now,
Okay.
this is the cosmetic screen where you can go through all the forms of cosmetics and attach shit to your character.
Oh, nice.
Cosmetics are character specific. If one character is wearing a cosmetic compared to another character, that other character can't wear that cosmetic. But you can be able to use this as a way to make your path forward and make things easier for yourself, should you want to be special. Because sometimes, maybe you want your character to wear a certain kind of equipment so that it's more noticeable against the backdrop of most of the maps. Some people do have MTXs that do that, but in general, it's whatever.
Looks to be a decent sort, that one.
Okay. And
Now skill
I guess
point.
I should look at the.
Yes.
Yep.
So, as you can see, as I told you before, you get your first skill point, you see the window, you're like, what's this? You scroll out and it's like, oh my god! Okay, so, getting all that out of your system. So, your wheel is the bottom middle wheel. If you look at my screen, you'll see that my wheel is this wheel that is directly to the right of yours on the wheels tree.
Yep.
Now, the Huntress is basically what we call a flip class. As you saw there was like 5-6 different people that could be chosen, but under every single one of them, there was a different icon.
Yeah.
Basically, there are 6 spokes on this wheel, but every class that is considered a flip class uses the same line, but not always the same internal tree of notables. So the notables that are accessible to the Huntress are different than the Ranger. And whenever the Mercenaries flip class gets here, your notables inside your first wheel spear are going to be different than the ones that that class has. And then, when you map through, you can be able to go through all of these different wheels that lead to these different spokes and decide how you want to design your build. Now, your class is a hybrid class, so you're sitting in the middle of strength and evasion. To your left is the warrior. Above you are all the intelligence classes, and they follow the same design. The monk is evasion and intelligence. The witch and sorceress are 2 same versions of the same intelligence tree. The druid in the top left corner is strength and intelligence. The warrior, all intelligence. The mercenary, strength and dexterity. I said warrior intelligence, warrior strength. Huntress and ranger, mostly evasion, but with an option to pivot into intelligence or into strength. This is how the wheel is operated. You are never going to ever need to go to the top node of the tree to ever do anything that has anything to do with dexterity and strength unless it has a reason for you to. You're never going to need to do anything that involves intelligence on the top side of the tree to enable something that your build does until you start needing to worry about endgame shit. So it doesn't matter, it doesn't exist to you right now. Basically anything that is not within the realm of possibility, maybe like up to some certain side of the other halfway split dexterity class and halfway split strength intelligence class, doesn't matter. But for most of this, you're going to be focusing on what's in your wheel tree, and then building out from there. So your first choice now is that you have a choice between offensive and defensive. Knowing what you're going to be building into, which is going to be a witch hunter, you're going to get access to Sorcery World. However, in the beginning of the game, damage is power. So I would go projectile damage. This is going to...
Yeah, I was already thinking about it, and I was considering just going straight damage either way, because armor and evasion only seems to be useful to me if I am not doing great with those in that aspect, and I seem to be doing fine for the most part. So,
if you want to,
that's my thought process.
Yes, if you want to consider it like this, you would go armor evasion if you were playing hardcore. You would go this side if you're playing softcore if you know what you're doing. Since you're playing softcore, and you have an experienced player who knows what they're doing, I'm going to tell you to go offense, because you should have Remorseless as that node in that same cliff tree. The notable. Past the attack speed and past the projectile damage.
Right here? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Remorseless. So, your tree here is the same on mine. So, going down the path of projectile damage, level 3, level 4, level 5, level 6, picking up Remorseless, is going to give you a lot more damage to do your job and to build up stun build-up against enemies that you're facing, and getting extra strength and dexterity than you needing to do it otherwise. You alternatively could forego the projectile damage and instead take the attack speed. Attack speed in this part of the game is strong, but your base damage as a beginning character is almost entirely locked up in your level notes. Because after that one,
Yeah.
you can go into Ricochet or you can go into Volatile Catalyst. Ricochet is basically for your shot damage. Volatile Catalyst is for the cooldown recovery of your grenades. So assuming you want to be able to experiment with your grenades and with your attack skills, you're going to want to go down that line anyways. Because if you go from the other side, you would get more survivability through Battle Hardened, and maybe you could go through the middle of Feel No Pain to pick up some Stun Threshold and some Armor and Evasion. But you're not going to feel as enticed to pick up Exposed Wound or to pick up Hard to Kill. Because Hard to Kill is regeneration, and Exposed Wound is about breaking armor while you're hitting a target with ailments, which for you would probably be Igniting and Poison. Igniting, Poison, Chilling, Shocking. And right now, the first ones that you start out with, you get its consumption skill to combo with Freeze. So until you have something to combo with those stats, that's basically a dead line to you. You follow my logic?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, so you do the thing that's strong, you do the thing that's available to you. The thing that's available to you is the part that takes you towards your best DPS, so do the thing that gets you to your DPS. Now, not every class is like this. Some classes, like for my class, if I wanted to go to Blur rather than going to Primal Instinct, even though I'll get attack speed and area effect and dexterity, Blur gives me 4% move speed. And you're going to notice very quickly that you can be very slow in this game. But, in the sake of doing this properly, since I am broadcasting myself, the correct thing to do is to take attack damage. Usually damage every time is important, because those first nodes are that big. So then after you kill the Miller, and I hope you picked up your items because you cannot go back, because this is how that zone works. It is basically a starter zone that locks behind you. You will enter into Clearfell Encampment. You will then meet with your first encounter with the NPC known as Renly. Renly is the blacksmith vendor. He will offer you a skill gem that is a quest item, that is a guaranteed quest item. And with that guaranteed quest item, you will also get availability to pick up the first line of your skills. For my skills, I will be picking up Twister, because this is going to be a whirlwind start. For you, I would have to look at your skills, because I never touched the mercenary. I am not a ranged gamer when it comes to crossbow. Not that I don't know how to do it, I just don't like it.
Okay.
A woman without a
I'm
place
gonna
to
talk
call
to this
home.
person right here.
We have that in common.
So that's Una. That is your magic vendor. She sells flasks and charms. She also sells multiple copies of the identity scrolls. In this game, we don't have portal scrolls. Portal is a button. It should be hardbound to X. It is that little. It's that little swirl sign that's next to your skill window on the bottom right of your screen in your monopool. You just click that button, it'll automatically make a portal that'll take you back to town. Over.
Oh,
to the left, to the left, to the left, up, up. That button.
Okay.
When you're in town or when you're in a zone that is not able to have a portal, it will tell you portals are disabled here. In general, that basically means you cannot portal out of boss encounters.
I'll find some
Okay.
for that.
So, with your first inventory, as you talk to the NPCs, learn what their mind states are like and their opinions, you'll be able to get into Migway. And when you get there, I will wait for you, because I want to make sure this part does not impress on you.
Okay. Go ahead and buy and sell items, or just...
Sure, you can use her window. It'll be the same difference. Okay, so, imagine you're an intelligence class for a second. I have my window open to the blacksmith, you have your window open to the enchanter. So this works both ways. So, this is called a window. When we talk about loot, ground loot, loot off the ground, window loot, loot that you were purchasing or you received from a form of a window. One side is designed to give you options. The other side is going to drop randomly, Diablo 2 style. for the purposes of upgrades, whenever you level up, the windows are going to reset. What that means is that this inventory that Renly has, this inventory that Una has, it will reset when you level up. Now this can suck because we don't have any gold. We're poor. We're broke. That means if we go looking for an upgrade, we have to go looking for an upgrade that fills the empty slots we currently have. So, hand slot, that's weapon slot. Head slot, chest slot, belt slot, glove slot, loot slot. 2 ring slots and an amulet slot. And then underneath our bar, 3 slots for charms, but we currently don't have belts, so we don't have a charm yet. That's on purpose. We're going to get a quest that's going to give us access to a charm from an NPC in town called Finn.
If you find a pipe now,
Finn is over near your stash.
Welcome. If I
He is also,
none of it's
yes,
junk.
over here.
Later.
Across from Una,
Here's trouble,
to the
eh?
left.
Yeah.
Yes.
He is what we call the gambler.
Okay.
So when you're done with Una's screen, you can then go over and look at Finn's screen.
Alright. This guy right here.
Yes. So, Finn is a window vendor. And he, if you're familiar with Kadala of Diablo 3, or Geed of Diablo 2, or Adira of Diablo 1, this is the gambler. Gambling is a form of window loot that is very, very special. So, if you've seen me play Diablo 2 Resurrected, the gambler has a function in there where it's basically, there's a button that does a reset of the screen, and every time you click that button, it puts another item in there, and all of those items are bases. It'll have a percentage chance that you roll a magic, it'll have a percentage chance you roll a rare, and if you're at a level that is available for the item to roll, that's like 1 in 5,000, 1 in 10,000, you'll get the ability to potentially get a special item. For the gambler, he is different. Notice the bottom right corner of the gamble screen. The vendor has a limited stock. More stock is accrued by killing unique monsters up to a given limit. What that means is that anything that is considered a super unique enemy, it's a named enemy, an enemy that is considered an encounter, like the Miller that we just fought, you are going to get a stack to buy another gambling item. As you go through the campaign, you're going to see different tiers of loot that can come from the gambling screen. All kinds of up-tiered and low-tier loot can drop, but when you need to gamble, it is when you're looking for an upgrade, or you're looking for something that's going to get you past the hump that you're currently in, or you're looking for a specific kind of item to get you what you want. So, the options you have available to you are basically every single weapon type that it currently exists. One-handed maces,
Alright.
two-handed maces, quarterstaves, one-hand wands, two-handed staves, two-hand bow, two-hand crossbow, one-hand scepter, one-hand spear, and the talisman. The talisman is considered a two-handed equipment item that allows for a alternative playstyle known as transformations. This is the druid's weapon.
Okay.
In the armor slots, random body armor for red stat strength armor, body armor for green stat based evasion rating armor, armor for blue stat energy shield armor, a random helmet for red stat, green stat, blue stat, red stat, green stat, blue stat, red stat, green stat, blue stat. So when you click on something and you're looking for body armor, you will want to make sure that you're looking for the thing that you want. For your class, you want armor evasion. Right now, they don't have armor evasion bases here. This is the starter zone. Straight stats down the line. Same thing with the offhands. Armored and armor evasion shields are both considered an armored shield. They use the British spelling of armor with a U. The reason why is because there is pure armor, red, armor evasion, red-green, armor energy shield, red-blue, bucklers, green, focuses, blue, and then quivers, which are technically a dexterity, but they're just what you equip when you're using a bow. It's like a stat stick that goes into your offhand as a bow.
Okay.
Then, jewelry, amulet, ring, belt. The reason why the jewelries are so expensive and the rings are so expensive because that's how valuable jewelry is. You do not ever want to buy jewelry from Gamble unless you know what the fuck you're looking for. This is endgame stuff. Almost always through the campaign, you're going to find rings and amulets off ground or from window loot opportunities that are going to be better than what you can get in Gamble. But if you literally, like, you have to, you need to, you want to roll rings and roll amulets, this is when you would do it. Sometimes you're going to just get lucky, because this is where you get into the part where it's basically making and crafting meta crafting unique items. Unique not in the sense of they're special items that are actually antiquities, but special pieces of equipment. It's less like you get chances to re-roll it multiple times, and it's more like gambling. Basically, identifying with extra steps. Find a base off the ground. Does it have a prefix or a suffix roll that's good? Take it into your benchcraft. Pray that it rolls something that's usable. Is it usable? Yes, use it. Is it usable? No, trash it. Flowchart. Outside of that, it's up to your leisure.
Okay.
Ow, my butthole. And then when you're done with that, let me know. They date 2300 Empire today. Do they have anything on sale? Tracking scrolls, shapes of skins. My fucking shit is lagging like hell.
It's not like I can buy anything from the gambler, so.
No, not yet. You'll start getting some money from the starter zone. This is their way of introducing you to the idea of gearing yourself off of ground loot. Unlike Path of Exile 1, Path of Exile 2 has encounter zones that will give you opportunities to get equipment, like spiggle gems, special guaranteed things, and in campaigns, whenever it's in a new challenge league, there will always be guaranteed upgrades that are provided by that, and Vol League was the beginning of them ensuring that for new players, so that you don't feel infinitely weak forever and always. Now, before we head out into the zone, I first need to party and friend your character, but I also want to show you what the stash looks like.
Yeah.
So, next to Fen is the stash.
Yeah, it seems to be just a simple storage system.
Yes. So, this is where you're going to want to look at my screen, because obviously, me being the experienced player, I have to make sure you know what the game looks like when you have a level of investment.
Yeah.
So, this is a stash, and these are stash tabs, and these stash tabs are what we call affinity tabs. This is the currency affinity tab. To show you basically every single drop that is potentially valuable and potentially existent in the game. This line is transformation orbs. Prefix. This line is, I forget what it's called. Transformation, I forget. Suffix, prefix. Regal orbs. This is for transforming from blue to yellow. This adds an additional prefix or suffix and turns it into a rare. Exalteds. This is adding more prefix and suffix lines. Chaos orbs. This is randomizing the stats that appear on your equipment. Completely shuffling it. So if somebody says something like, I'm going to chaos spam on this spear, they're using multiple chaos orbs. And they're tiered. Tier 1 is basically the type you're going to come across most often in the campaign. Tier 2 is going to have the ability to target and eliminate some bottom tier rolls of suffixes and affixes up to a certain level. and perfects, tier 3, do the same thing, but even higher. This is a crafting window. This is the window that is for augments. It says sockets because that's what they are, but they wanted to be complex. But these are augments. These are runes. The top tier here are Kalguran runes. All of this here, these blues, common. They do certain things. These ones here, purples, these are end game. They do very specific things. These ones here, right here, were the first initiation of the first augmented end game runes. Then they made more. Same thing happened here with this. These here are Volish. It's what they call soul cords, which basically means they're blood crystals, because blood magic. But
Yeah.
Kalguran sockets, Vol sockets. Soul cores do very specific things based on the equipment that they can be socketed into. These ones can be socketed basically into every single slot, and they have specific effects when they do. These ones can be socketed into specific slots only, and they have a specific upgrade that each one does when they're in that socket. These ones that look like little vials are low tier. These ones that look like fucking hexadecimal fancy little fucking crystal die, these ones are high tier. These come from a very specific piece of content called the Temple of Chaos, which is one of the 2 currently implemented ways for you to ascend your character. The other one's in Act 2. This one is in Act 3. This one underneath that, these socketables are what we call spirit idols. These have to do with a mechanic called the Azmeri Wisps. You're going to come across the Azmeri Wisp in the next zone after Clearfell, when we get into Growwood. These appear as random drops when you kill enemies that have been imbued by the spirit. It can have different colors. The colors, in general, are blue, purplish, pink, red, and yellow. So, red, blue, yellow, basically, but pink, blue, yellow. The stat applies to the type that it comes from. So even though you can barely tell what color it is, the first ones are blue. That comes from the Primal Wisp. The second ones are like a little bit yellow. Those come from the Vivid Wisp. The other ones are like purplish red. Those come from the Primal Wisp. The ones that are orange come from a Special Wisp. Very rare, but if you find it, you get a chance to possibly get it. Very special stuff. Everything else there, straightforward. Essence tab, Ritual tab, a map tab, which is where you put your waypoints or your waystones, which are what maps are, and then additional quad stash tab storage. These are basically 4 tabs smashed into one window for extra big hoarder storage. And then each one of these, the ones that are colored are special premium tabs. So these ones can be made public and you can sell shit out of them. There's a new system now where you don't have to do that, but before that, we didn't have that system. This one here is a normal stash tab. So this is one of the many normal tabs that you have that I have multiples of. This is where I put project pieces. These are dump tabs.
Yeah.
This says Grail, but this is the antiquity, the antiquity tree. What this is, when you put it to all, this is a list out and basically an archive of every unique item that is in the game. Now it says question mark, question mark, question mark, but as you find them, this tab is where you get to basically put them away. So I know some of them by name. This one, Widowhail. If you gamble bows in Act 1 with as much money as possible, because the axe level is so low at the beginning, if you just have a bunch of money, on a new character, after you make a League Start character, you can try and fish for a Widowhail, and it would go right here in this socket. If I have it on the window that I had it on, where it shows nothing, because it's only showing me what I own, and I own no unique equipment, if I put the Widowhail in here, it'd be the only thing that shows up. It's the same like that for every single item type. Flasks, amulets, rings, wands, maces, bows, staves, quivers, belts, gloves, boots, body armor, helmet, shield, jewels. Jewels are sockets. Charms Charms would go in that area above your or under your belt. Crossbow, focus, scepter, spear, quarterstaff, and talisman. So whenever you find them, should you buy one of these yourself, this is how you keep up with multiple copies of multiple single-use uniques. So let's say I wanted to have leveling gear that I got on my Elite starter, and I make a new character. I go into my Grail, I see what I have available for those sockets, or for those pieces of equipment, and I equip them. And when I don't need to use them anymore, because I've gotten better equipment, either a different unique or a better rare tier item, that item goes back into my Grail. If I get a copy of the same item, I look at which one is better, I trash the other version. Because there are some items that a top tier high roll is more valuable than a low roll. But the way you should look at it is, I have a Tangle Tongue. I'm going to use a Tangle Tongue. If I get another Tangle Tongue, I'm going to look at which one has a higher crit roll. The one that has the higher crit roll goes into my bank. The one that is a low roll, I'm going to sell to Una, and she's going to turn it into a chance shard. And that chance shard would go over here into these pieces of these shards. So a shard for an orb that will make sockets, a shard that will make an orb that will let you create or have a chance to try to roll for a unique off of a base item, a shard that will give you multiple copies to make a regal orb, and shards that will give you copies to create these additional upgrade material. So on, so on, so forth. Then you have just tabs for storing things. A tab for flasks, a tab for gems, a tab for the endgame delirium tree, and then a backup waypoint tree. This is for putting away maps that I don't want to use.
And all of this will be stuff I'll eventually get.
Yes. Quality of life, it comes from the microtransaction shop. You would go to the shop, because it's still loading for me, because for some reason it takes forever to fucking load. But you would go to the shop, and the shop would have a window that would tell you to buy stash tabs. And then under stash tabs, you can be able to buy those things that you want from the stash tabs. I don't know how long it's going to take for my window to fucking buffer and to finally load the goddamn filter, but...
And is that just microtransactions?
Yes.
And me needing to actually put money in to get money out?
Yes. So, I already have money in because I've bought multiple supporter packs. There is a window that it offers you the ability to buy supporter packs, such as the incoming Return of the Ancient supporter packs, and then it'll have things in there that'll try to sell you on bundles. Like, there's something that if it loads for you, it'll have a sales tab that'll tell you about being able to buy things that are on sale. It has the early access supporter pack window that has all of these different versions of the series that you can pay into. So the Divinity, the Blood Reaver, the Curator of Wisdom, the Iron Incarcerator, the Precursor, the Calgurin, and then the specific early access ones. Paying into any of these would give you access to what is available at that tier for that pack. So inside of the early access tree, just being a normal supporter would have gotten you your key. I've already paid this. Lord of Ogum would give you everything that comes with being the first one, plus the cosmetics that are available from here. The armor set, the weapon effects, the pets, etc. Going to the King of Theroden, same thing. Everything from the first tier, plus what this one offers. And so on, and so on, and so on. You can upgrade your supporter pack support. So I'm somewhere right here. The next tier for me is like $80 upgrade. And this comes with physical material that you get IRL. Like I have a Path of Exile t-shirt. The next one is supposed to be a hoodie, and then the next one after that I think is an art book. If you were to support at that tier, you foregoing the physical merch, you can have them give you points equivalent to the dollar amount of what it would have been worth. And all of that becomes immediately accessible to your account. Alternatively, if you just want to buy it straight up, as I told you, every dollar is equal to 10 points. So $100 is $10. $200 points is $20. Buying things from packs, if you wanted to say, be a fucking asshole and pay $500 to support the development of the next patch, you're going to get a point equivalent of that money that you spent. A lot of points. And the cosmetics that come from each of these trees. None of these are going to give you power. But in terms of viability for things like, I want to have something to show for my support, should you buy supporter packs to then pay for things from the shop for your cosmetics? That is a viable choice. Because then when you look at my cosmetics, I have cosmetics for the type of spear that I'm using. I have cosmetics for the armor that I'm wearing. Some of them are part of a set, such as the Thaumaturge of the Vol, which is what I'm going to equip right now. For this is an item called the Skull of Undeath, which is a type of helmet that has an effect. This helmet is going to track the amount of monsters that I've killed and the number of times in the league that I've died. Because I re-equipped it for my other character, it is now going to track fresh. And then, if I go back there and look at it again from that screen, picking something for an offhand, which I currently don't have, gloves, also Thaumaturge of the Vol, boots, also Thaumaturge of the Vol, but for the body, I think I'm going to use my King of the Faradun. What the King of the Faradun does is that certain pieces of equipment have special effects. So, for the cosmetic of the King, he has a version where he hovers off the ground. His feet don't touch the floor. If you use Skin 2, it makes it so his feet touch the floor. Okay. As you can clearly see.
Yeah.
So, version 1, actual feet. Version 2, hovering on the wind of magical arms hanging underneath my body. None of this is going to give you power, but it helps with your character feel. There are also special effects that you can give to head slots, like having a backlit halo. If you have something that lets you see your face, having glowing eyes. If you have a back attachment, having an attachment that adorns you as you move around. Ring attachments, such as the Exile's Pilfering Ring. This is a type of tracking scroll ring. This is a skin that goes onto your equipment that basically allows you to keep track of everything you've ever gotten. So, in the Fate of the Vol League, which was a private league that I was playing in that was created by a bunch of creators, because the shit that happened in 0.4 was fucking stupid. I'll tell you about it later. We wanted to play the league again. So, we played the league again, and this is all the stats that I got from the equipment that I got off the ground from my own content in that league. I click statistics, it's going to reset the statistics, I equip it to my character, and now it's going to keep track of everything that this character picks off of currency that I found off the ground. There's other effects, such as weapon effects, and weapon added effects, which are executions. This is going to affect any rare monster you kill. So when I kill a rare monster, it will get pulled into an abyss by the hand of Shayula. It's going to be very funny. Everything else, flavor. It has no other purpose. Same thing with level up effects. I'm going to use Desheret's Blushing. Portal effects. These are going to get skins to your portals. Some people don't like looking at bare portals. This doesn't really matter, but this is like celebration shit. So for me, I like using random variations, if it'll ever let me click it. Okay, my shit got rocked there for a second by the fucking internet disconnecting. That was fucking stupid. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I was just muted for a little bit.
Yeah, my fucking screen, my fucking shit got, DC'd there. That sucked. Bit of a roll. Yeah. My character, I don't know what the last thing you heard me say was, but I was just going over the different types of, cosmetics. So, my window back open again. Open up my stream and get ass fucked, which probably did.
Yeah.
All the things together, all the fancy shit, you will look like this. The Mirage effect is making it look like I'm twinning as I'm moving. I get to hover off the ground. I look cool, and I don't look like a poor vagabond amongst all the other players that don't have cosmetics. And you can hover over people in town. You can see what level their character is. And you can also see the other cosmetics they have. So this guy's got a cosmetic, also has a pet. This guy doesn't have a cosmetic. This guy doesn't have a cosmetic. None. Well, actually, this one has a little. They have the shield equipped. But cosmetics, not all that important. except for one stat. There's one thing that's important inside of it, and that's from the extra screen, and that's the cursors. So cursors are important because knowing what your cursor looks like when you're clicking on things is important. So each cursor has its own different little, like, Windows wiggle. The difference between I'm clicking and I'm not clicking.
Okay, yeah.
So cursors like the Karui cursor, very hard to tell. It's like a little light glint on the end. Ones like the Mariketh cursor, it's more optically satisfying. You can see it physically beveling and moving in the light. Same with the Eternal, same with the Ezomite. The Vol cursor is the one I use because it glows red. So this is kind of important for it's like, I'm trying to click on something, but it's not clicking. Sometimes if you hit F1 and you look at your latency, you can see whether or not you're getting lagged by the server, which is how I knew that I was getting lagged. Flask effects, this just helps you see when your flask is actually being used. It's not a very big change, but it does help in the sense like, I don't want to be confused that I'm potentially getting fucked over because I can't see what's happening to me, type shit. So in that way, it helps. The pets also help because they will follow your character wherever you're running and wherever you're going. So if you need to know where your actual position is, that's one way to see it. But you very rarely ever get lost, for the most part. Any other things that you could have available to you would be things like skill effects. So these, the Mirage Quicksilver effect, this is from the event of Path of Exile 1 for the Mirage League. This was given out for watching the streams. It will make a Mirage effect when I run. The other one is Verdant Wilds, which was for the last league. This was technically this league. It'll make a similar Verdant Wild effect when I dodge roll and when I sprint. And then consumables are things like skin transfer. You destroy the appearance of one weapon to apply the appearance of that weapon to your equipment. That's for when you want to, like, make it look like you're not holding the type of equipment that you're actually holding. For cosplay purposes. To make it look fun and appealing and shit. Not important. But for everything else here, all of this, it'll never benefit you anything close to, like, because you wear this skin, or because you have this thing on your thing, you are going to be magically stronger than everybody else. It doesn't happen. Not real. But in terms of the shit that has to do with the microtransactions for the store, those, the filters, if my shop decides it wants to cooperate now, which it is not, those stash tabs, whether you are able to purchase them or not, would be effective. That is the bare minimum quality of life that you could buy for yourself. And for all these stash tabs, for the ones that matter, it's like $35. Barely anything. I don't know why my screen's not letting me look at the fucking thing, but it is what it is. Anyways. So, upgrades. You're a martial class, technically using a crossbow. So whenever you want to come in here to look for something, you're going to look for things that are going to affect your build. So, this makeshift crossbow. This would be a really good crossbow for you to get, because it's adding pure raw damage. This one would also be another one to get, because it's also pure raw damage. Between the two of these, since this is a roll of 3 to 7, and this one is 2 to 6, and this one is 3 to 5, this one would be better. When it's normal, it's like within the room that you could buy it. This is if you wanted to do something like use an agnostic build style. Let's say instead of using spears, I wanted to use bows to level. I'd go in here, buy a crew bow, and I'd use the level 1 skill gem to cut a skill gem for lightning arrow. That's what that's for. Everything in here that is going to have magic like this, the Squire's Felled Great Club of Absorption, these magic rolls are going to make it more expensive. Automatically, obviously.
Okay.
So, looking at things in here, and this is why it would suck when you first level up, because you don't have any money, so it's like, oh man, if I was a monk, I would so love to have this quarterstaff, because it's got plus physical damage, plus percentage physical damage, and accuracy rating, and attack speed, and then I level up, and it's gone. And, this one's got critical chance and fire damage, and then I level up, and it's gone. No chance to even buy it. Same thing with this one, having a fucking socket. Same thing with this one, having 40% at physical damage and a plus to dexterity. You could carry yourself through the map with through the entire act with this quarterstaff if you wanted to. You could carry yourself through the entire act with this crossbow if you wanted to. But as you look through the map, as you look through the window, as you look through the windows, you're going to be trying to look for things that would give you upgrades. This is how you'd keep yourself powerful. So let's say, for example, I was looking for a head slot, because I am. I'd want to buy this barrel twig circular to seal, because it has resistance. Early game, resistances. Life, resistances, things that keep me from dying. That's all that I care about. So I'd want something like this, just to fill the slot. I'd want something like this to fill the slot. But obviously down the line, I'd probably be wearing something more like this, or something more like this. So with this leather vest, this is a normal leather vest. If I buy this and put it on, it means that I'm going to be able to upgrade this with upgrade material if I find it. Which we will, because there's a guaranteed encounter outside of town. Same thing here with this changeling talisman. Technically, I should find a talisman from the vendor and use it, because if I do, then I have the ability to make use of one of the transformation forms, because they have the ability to move faster. But that also comes with the downside that I'd have to spend my money on something that isn't a direct upgrade. Now me, I'd want to get this talisman, because man, plus levels to all melee skills, almost all transformation skills are melee, so I get extra damage from gem levels without ever having to do anything else but pay for like less than 400 gold. That'd be amazing, but we can't get it because it's going to be gone, and that sucks. It's fucking stupid, but it is what it is. We don't have the ability to really get anything else outside of the early start that we got. And then of course, if you were in a guild, you'd get this. You'd have an extra guild tab. And guilds are like things you make with your friends, not things that you hold with other people.
Yeah.
If you were a content creator, you would have a very big guild around you, but nobody in my audience plays my games. And then, of course, here you have the social screen. It works off of the name of the character, and then it tags to the name of the account. So, what did you name your character?
Just Soul Link.
Soul Link.
With a _M.
Is your name Soul Link number 1475 for your Path of Exile account?
Nope.
Okay. Soul Link, and you said _?
_M.
Here you are.
There I am.
So yes, case sensitivity is important. So here's your account name, Soul Link number 3561, and then your character name, Soul Link _M. Doing this, I can now invite you to party. It shows that you're inside the Fate of the Ball League. It shows your level. It shows your class. So now that we're in the same encounter and we're in the same area, I can now portal using the left-click swirly image that was next to your name to teleport into your instance of Clairfell encampment. This is a similar thing you can do to teleport to certain places like a person's hideout. One button teleport. Takes you straight there. Don't have to finagle through any windows. And now, when you walk up to this door of Clairfell, what I want you to do is I want you to hold down, I think, Control. Yes, Control. What that will do is it's going to open up the instance manager. Whenever you click on a door, it's going to make a default new instance. If you want to make a new instance to farm the zone, you would have to go to a door, transition door, of any zone, and then click on that transition door for that zone to make a new instance of that zone. You can do the same thing with waypoints. But for this, we're going to click on the door, and that will create a new instance of Clairfell, and when you click on the door after me, it should insert you into that instance.
I'm not going. I don't think it seems to be going through.
Give it a bit. Is it telling you something you need to do before you do?
Skill crafting. Oh,
so it
right,
wants
yeah,
you to. So it wants you to craft your gem. Okay. So
yeah.
Here's where we look at your crossbows. So the thing that is important here is that it shows you all of the tabs of all types of gems you can cut, but it's going to try to default you to the weapon that you're equipped with. So if you wanted to be an agnostic build and you said, fuck crossbows, I want to use bows, this is where you would have to grab a normal bow from the from Rinley and then cut a skill gem for the bow. But since you're in crossbow, the first line corresponds to the first level of skill gem you can cut. Level 1, Level 3, Level 5, Level 7, Level 9, Level 11, Level 13. From the top to the bottom are different types of skills that have effects. The reason why they did this way is that they want you to have the experience of growing a build over time. So, if they gave you access to Cluster Grenade from the start, why would you ever use any of the other skills if it was just a case of, I throw this at the enemy, it clears the entire screen, I go to the next screen, I throw this at the enemy, it clears the entire screen. Instead, what this does is it gives you the opportunity to look at the different types of skills and the effective use that they have with what you can do. So, up here, you already have fragmentation rounds. The game gave that to you.
Yep.
Now the other 3 options it's offering is Explosive Grenade, Permafrost Bolts, and Armor-Piercing rounds. If you click on the window of the skill, it will play a small video of what the skill does. So if you click on Armor-Piercing rounds...
This one?
Yes. It should play a video. I don't know if you clicked on it or if you clicked on the portrait. There you go.
This is an ammo skill. Use it to charge your bolts, then use basic attack to fire. If you need to, you can use this skill again to manually reload.
So,
Armor-piercing
the
rounds
video
can break
will
enemy
repeat
armor.
to make sure to show you how the skill works. So now, you go to the other one, it'll do the same thing
Permafrost bolts
for that.
shatter on impact, hitting enemies behind the target. This attack is very effective at freezing enemies. This is an ammo skill. Use it to change your bolts, then use basic attack to fire. Permafrost bolts
So,
shatter on impact.
This is
enemies
your first
behind the
instance of
This
a
attack is
opportunity
very
to
effective
create
at
a
freezing
combo
enemies.
effect. Because this will
This
combo
is an
with your
ammo
fragmentation
skill.
rounds.
Use it to change your
But
bolts,
before you click
then
on
use
Engrave,
basic attack
go
to
ahead
fire.
and get a feel for the grenade.
Permafrost bolts shatter. Explosive grenades have a long fuse, but deal devastating damage if you can catch enemies in the blast. Explosive grenades have a long fuse.
The idea
but deal
of these
devastating
skills
damage
is that it's giving you opportunities to go into certain type of build styles. However, what I encourage you to do is to look back on fragmentation rounds and remember what it said. Fragmentation rounds is going to create bolts, and those bolts will consume freeze on hit. And when it consumes the freeze, it causes an explosion of shrapnel. So, the thing that you want to pay attention to on fragmentation rounds here is what it says versus frozen.
So I should probably get the permafrost bolts since they might go
Yes.
well with the
Yes.
fragmentation rounds.
The first
Permafrost
reason is
bolts
because we're
shatter
in the
on impact,
beginning part of the
hitting
game,
enemies
so
behind
having
the target.
access to
This attack is
crowd
very
to crowd
effective
control
at freezing
guarantees you
enemies.
that you live.
This is an ammo
You saw
skill.
it there in the
Use it
video
to
with
change
the
your bolts,
demonstration with
then
the
use
with the
basic
fire
attack
grenade.
to fire.
If it has a timer and it needs to go off
Permafrost
and you don't have a way to make it
bolts
go off
shatter on impact,
faster,
hitting
it means you
enemies
have to
behind the
wait.
target.
And getting swarmed
This
is death.
attack is very effective at freezing
Yeah.
enemies.
So
This is
having
an
the
ammo
effective
skill.
freeze is good.
Use it to change
But
your
also
bolts,
I would push you in the
then
direction of
use basic
permafrost
attack
bolts
to
because it
fire.
combos with fragmentation rounds.
Yeah.
So the-
Basically, I would just switch over immediately after I freeze them.
Well, you try to put out as many shots as possible,
Permafrost
deplete it
bolts
because it doesn't save your
shatter on
bolts.
impact,
But
hitting enemies
shoot out
behind
the
the
frost
target.
rounds and then switch over to
This attack
fragmentation
is very
rounds and blow them
effective
up.
at freezing
Yes.
enemies.
Okay.
So, the important thing to pay attention to is to look at what it says on fragmentation rounds when it says versus frozen. So you go to fragmentation rounds, and you're going to mouse over to the section where it says versus frozen. So hover over the skill gem for fragmentation rounds. Fragmentation rounds.
This one, yep.
Yes. And then you're going to hold down Alt, and then you're going to click on the part that says versus frozen. It's on the same. It's on the same window next to projectile. Fragmentation rounds down. Projectile versus frozen. So this is the effect that happens when you consume the freeze. You're going to convert all of your physical damage into cold. You're going to explode them in a radius of 2 meters. It's going to consume the freeze on the enemies that you hit to trigger a secondary explosion at their location. The secondary explosion cannot consume freeze. So the explosion can't eat other explosions. And you'll deal 50% more damage with hits from an explosion that originates from a unique frozen enemy. And the quality effect on this gem, if you were to give it quality, is that it will deal up to 20% more physical damage. And that's multiplicative, not additive damage. Multiplicative 20% more on a skill that has a effect cash out of 350 attack damage, compared to the base number on the projectile, which I think it said it was 100 or something.
Yeah. I think so, yeah.
So you would just tab back over to the projectile side to look at it again, in the same window. So the way that you clicked versus frozen, the other side. So the attack damage on fragmentation is 20. What's a bigger number, 350 or 20%? 350, right. Obviously. So you take permabolts to enable the higher damage of fragmentation rounds. This is what we would call a 2-button combo. I also have a 2-button combo. So I'm already outside waiting at you at the gate inside of Clearfell. But notice how when I use my whirlwind stacks. If I show my screen, my skill says that I can use the whirlwind up to 3 times. The whirlwind is going to knock enemies back. When I move out of the area of the whirlwind, it's going to collapse the whirlwind and cause 150 more damage per additional stage up to the 3rd stage. It's going to cause more knockback per stage, and then it's going to add more radius per stage. And if I give it quality, the collapsing is going to add 40% more damage per stage. So basically adding on an extra 40 times 3% opportunity. So an extra 120 damage. That's a lot of damage, especially for something as simple as use this and gain defenses while also setting up your offense. In general, it does the melee damage. It's got 70% of attacks. It's 70% base of my attack speed, and it does 70% attack damage. But the part of this that is important is this combo with Twister. Whirl up a Twister with a flick of your spear. The Twister moves towards erratically, blinding and hitting enemies within. If a Twister touches a whirlwind from your other skills, it consumes the whirlwind that add additional Twisters that deal more damage. Passing over an elemental ground surface or consuming an elemental whirlwind will grant Twisters extra damage of that element. Up to 80% more damage per whirlwind stage, and more additional Twisters, and gaining 50% damage of the corresponding type. Not just it becomes damage, I get bonus damage. So yours says you convert from physical to cold. Mine would do fire, ice, and lightning, and would add 50% of my attack's damage to the Twisters that get fired. And the upgrade of the quality would have a 20% chance to add another Twister. So when I use this button in combination with Twister, I throw out projectiles. This is also a 2-button build. This pushes and progresses towards enemies, and then we clear them. And because it's also a projectile that bounces off walls, the closer we are to walls, the more it combos. So now, combat. So now, you use your skills in order to set up, and I try to use my skills to stay alive. And now you're playing Path of Exile. It only gets better from here. So now, in between packs, you would hold down sprint to move faster. And you can immediately start using skills. You don't have to wait for your character to slow down. There you go. Turn down your stream volume just a little bit.
Sorry.
No, you didn't do anything wrong. I had yours jacked up so I could be able to make sure that I could hear what your character was doing. And now, we come across the first encounter, which is called the Mysterious Campfire. It's got a locker, and that locker dropped us both a copy of a level 1 gem. So now you can get another skill cut. While you do that, I'm going to equip my new Changeling Talisman. And now you can see that I'm now in transformation forms.
Bear.
I can be a bear. I can get blown up by an area effect attack that came from this witch in the corner that I didn't pay attention to. And I can now use bestial attacks that come with the skill form. In the beginning, they only give you access to bear, and they only give you access to werewolf. And these have specific effects that they get granted. The bear, for example, can get easier effects to stack access to endurance charges. The wolf gets access to increased movement speed while sprinting, and my attacks will use cold damage. Whereas the bear form is plus 10 armor per level, 30% of my armor will be applied to my elemental damage, and I can gain an endurance charge for every 15 rage that I spend. For my purposes, I want the werewolf, because I want to move faster. Whatever key you use for weapon change, you can click that button and move between them. For a transformation class, should you have been using this like me, I use J, so if I want to be on my spears, I can transform to that, or if I want to be on my other weapon, I can use that. However, they also made it easier where if I want to just use my normal skills, I can just click the button and I automatically transform. If I want to be a wolf, I use that skill and I automatically transform. Cool, huh?
Yeah. What's this portal for?
That portal was what I opened accidentally trying to look for my fucking weapon swap key, because I don't often use weapon swaps. So now, after getting that, we now have access to another encounter. This is a boss encounter. Mini-boss. Has access to a upgrade for us. Her name is Vera of the Rotten Pack.
Wind's fury. Be still. My pet's hunger. Be still. Swell. Be still.
Ouch.
Swell. Be still. Rotten. No mana.
And now she dies. Orbital Augmentation, that was what it's called. And then she drops loot. And she will also drop a quest item called the Head of the Winter Wolf. Right click it and it will grant you 10% cold resistance.
Oh, nice.
She also dropped a medium life flask of the Constant for me. This is an upgrade to the current lesser life flask we have. So once you're at level to use this one at level 4, that's when you would equip it if you were to find one of your own. And in this situation, here is where we would get our next skill gem for us to now worry about other shit that we want to equip. Currently for me, for this build, there's no other skill that I actually want to cut with the exception of the Explosive Spear, but I don't have access to Frenzy charges because I don't have a Frenzy gaining method. Since I'm not using a parry buckler. I'd have to wait until I get access to a parry buckler so I can use it. Because I have to basically gain charges from the method of engagement. Because she's a defensive class, since she is a melee class. So what I'm going to do is I want to put the werewolf skill on F. And then I'm going to put disengage on my character. And then put that on the backflip slot. And now I have an attack for movement and I have an attack for escape. And now, just like normal, you'd go down the trees of attack to increase your viability. So you take your next point of offense in that passive tree. And then we continue moving on to normal. That is a powerful drop. That's an Iron Ring. It's going to give you 1 to 4 extra physical damage, which is going to basically make you now start hitting like a truck. Because at this level, even low-level upgrades like 1 to 4, 5 to 7, 11 to 12, that pure added damage is nothing but pure upside. And by adding types of damage like elements, is going to give you the ability to potentially get more power.
Need a moment.
So now, the thing that we're looking to do in this zone is we're trying to find a hole. If you look at the ground, you will see that in the area of the ground, there are little divots, like a worm has been crawling across it. That will lead us to the next zone we need to go to. This is called pathfinding.
Wind's fury. Need more time. No mana.
Before we go down there, we are looking for the special encounter that spawned in the zone, and I just found it.
The energy pouring off this thing. Hold on.
So if you come over here, behind the thing, this over here is the image of the ball symbol for incursion. So when we complete this encounter here, we're going to gain access to a zone. And that zone is going to take us to
One of these lights is glowing.
a opportunity
Reckon I can light
for
the rest.
upgrades. But from here, we're going to get guaranteed drops, mostly blues, but most importantly, that orb of augmentation and that orb of transmutation.
My inventory's full.
Already?
That's what it says, yeah. I'll click the portal button to create a portal back to town.
Okay, that's something that we can do.
Guessing I need to sell some stuff.
Yes. Having the full inventory is bad because if you pick up something, if you drop something that you want to take but you don't have the room to take it, you can't bring it with you.
Okay.
It's not like the zone is going to immediately close and lock behind you, but in some instances that does happen. Thus the almighty test of what do I pick up, what do I leave. In this case,
Who do I go to sell all this crap?
anyone. In terms of selling, if you go to Una and use disenchant, you will open up a disenchanting offer window, and you'll be able to stick the item in there, and you can then give it to her, and she will break it down into a transmutation shard. If you take it to Rendley and just straight up buy or sell to him, just the same way as you could to her, she will sell it to you, or he will sell it for gold. At this point, if it's magic, take it to Una and disenchant it if you can't use it.
Yes.
Otherwise, sell it for
Collected
gold.
these over time.
If you find something that is superior, or you find something that's socketed, put it away in your stash tab for now. You're at towards the end of the act, you're going to get access to the ability to be able to use a bench that will be an upgrade bench that you'll take with you across the campaign and into the endgame. That will give you the ability to disenchant items that have quality, or have sockets to turn it into quality items, or to turn it into the pieces of the Artificer's Orb, which will then allow you to put a socket into another item, should you want to.
I've collected these over time. Hello. Stay safe if you can. Bye.
Okay, it seems like there's only one item to disenchant with Una.
Yeah, if it's not blue, she won't take it. So anything that you don't want that you can't equip right now or don't need, you just would sell it to her.
Let's see, anything else that needs to be disenchanted? Nope.
What have we got? Anything take your fancy?
I'm just going to sell stuff.
Well,
That's fine. Once you sell things, I'm going to show you what crafting looks like.
I just shove it onto him, right?
Yes. You can just, you can hold down control, and you can be able to click, and that should be faster. So control left click,
Control left click.
or shift left click, one of the two.
What should I do with this other lesser life flask?
Keep it.
Okay.
You can put it into your stash. There's a upgrade bench tool inside of Act 3 that becomes a form of reforging, where you can reforge flasks and other flasks. By the time you get there, you'll have already out-leveled that flask. You could sell it for all you want, but that would be what you do with that. And now, you want to make sure to come over to the well. Click on that, it's going to refill your flasks automatically. It should be the case that every time you go back to town, they should automatically refill, but they tried to make this more like an action-adventure game, so you have to click on that for now. But,
Okay.
you look over at my screen, I'm going to show you what it looks like to enchant your equipment.
Okay.
So, here we have an orb of transmutation and an orb of augmentation. This one's going to add a modifier, this one's going to fill up the last modifier for the suffix and the prefix. I get lightning damage and attack speed. So, prefixes are going to have certain roles, suffixes are going to have certain roles.
Okay. However, everything that I am wearing already has some enhancements.
Yes, so if it doesn't have 2 lines, it means that it can be enhanced again with an orb of augmentation. If it has, excuse me, backwards. If it has 1 line, it means it can be enchanted again with an orb of augmentation. If it has 2 lines, you need to use a regal orb to turn it into a rare item. To add a third line and enable it to go from 2 affixes to 6 affixes. So your weapon can get upgraded again. The first line there is implicit. That's an implicit that is based on that equipment type. So where it says 24 bolts reload speed, that is implicit to your weapon. The attack speed is the actual affix. That's a suffix roll. Then your head. Your head has 2 lines, so you can't upgrade it further. But fortunately, you got cold resistance, so that's good. Your ring, the 1 to 4 is implicit. The 14 is a prefix roll.
Okay.
Your gloves, same thing here. You got a prefix and a suffix. You got extra mana per enemy killed. Amazing in the beginning game. And then increased energy shield, which is going to increase the amount of energy shield you're getting from all other energy shield equipment. But on this one, locally, it's going to increase the amount of energy shield that glove is giving you. So it doesn't naturally give you 11. It's being increased to give you up to 11. And your
then
boots,
last one.
and your boots has a defensive suffix cold resistance roll and has room for another prefix. And it has no implicit. So there's no special upgrade you get for wearing a rough greaves.
Okay. In that case, what should I use these 2 for then?
Weapon.
Just these 2 on a weapon?
Well, you can only use the orb of augmentation because you already have 1 roll. So this one's going to add a second new roll. So go for it. It's going to roll for a prefix because you already have a suffix. And you rolled physical damage. That's great. You now actually have more damage than I do right now.
Oh, that's good.
You're using a 2-hander. 2-handers are going to have higher damage rolls than 1-handers because it's supposed to be offset by the fact that I have defense. And because all of those are blue, you can't actually make them into a magic item because they're already magic. This would turn a gray item into a blue item. So the way that I
So
have...
that's what the transmutation does?
Yes, it turns it from gray to blue.
Okay.
And then the augmentation adds a second line of blue. And then the Regal turns it from blue to yellow and gives it a third line. And then Exalted would give it up to 6 affix. So another 3 affixes. And if you didn't like the affixes that you got, a Chaos Orb would randomize all the rolls on the item, potentially making it better or worse. Usually worse in the worst case, because why would you equip an item that has worse stats unless it has something about it that makes it better? So now, after we've done all that, we can now take the portal that I made back into Clearfell.
What's the button for the map?
M? Actually, no, not M. U. World map.
U.
Yes.
Okay.
U will take you to the world map and will show you different places that you can go.
Oh,
and things
I'm talking about like the
You mean
the game map
mini map?
itself.
The mini map?
Yes.
Tab.
Yeah, that. Tab. Oh. Okay.
So now we continue following this trail all the way to the entrance to the quest zone that it wants us to go to. And while we're moving, we look to see if there are items that we want that drop off these enemies, and we pick up the waypoint and go into the Mud Burrow.
No common beast could carve out something of this size.
So now we are into the Mud Burrow. We can now split up from here and go find things, or find other checkpoints. There are encounters in here, as well as lootables, that can potentially drop you items. Also be careful when you're walking on the walls. There are people in there.
Take this.
I ended up finding the hatchery, and it didn't drop anything that I could use.
Another of them things.
I found a beacon.
Yes, you did. Have to navigate my way to you.
That'll make 3.
Okay.
Did you already clear this area over here?
No. I came running to you because I thought you might have needed my help. But I was wrong.
No, I got everything. Good.
So now we explore down. It should be the case that my map is not going to update to yours, but it will show that I've been in that area and I killed things.
Yep.
Namely from the dead bodies.
Here.
Need more time.
Yeah, I'm noticing that. And I leveled up.
I found what I think is the entrance to the boss. Now I'm just waiting for you to come to me. Getting some gold in the ground. Every scrap matters. And here is a blue name Woodsman's Locker. So, as I was telling you before, normal items drop normal things. Blue things drop blue things. Yellow things drop rare things. So this dropped a guaranteed Rattling Scepter that dropped blue. And then it dropped other extra shit on top of it.
Okay.
So now we keep moving towards the center of the map, towards the zone of this checkpoint. Because most of these extra tunnels are just 2 different ways to get to the boss. It basically hooks around on itself into a U. So if you'd gone down this side, you would have gotten to here. If you would have gone down the other side, you would have gone down the other side. And now we can go into the boss. As you walk towards the center of the room, the boss will spawn. Here is your first real challenge. Now you need not only to learn how to fight a boss in a zone, but you need to learn how to avoid damage. So that purple effect that it did put a poison effect on the ground. Here, the attacks come out so slow that you can almost basically be able to predict them. And because he does that, because we are pseudo-ranged in melee classes, we can play in and out of the range of the enemy. We don't have to be stuck doing all of our damage up close. That was a rejection for him to tell us when he was coming up. Then he does a spit attack, and we avoid it. He does spit attack again, and we try to tank it, because both of us have energy shield. And look at that!
Oh.
You're getting attacked by little spawnlings that come out of him. Here, I ended up finding Earthbound. So, this is a low-level staff that's designed for leveling. It is basically the Spark staff. It's got spell damage, cast speed, matter generation, increased chance to shock, and if I kill something with Spark, it will trigger Spark upon killing a shocked enemy. Basically, puts out a little bit of bunch of fucking lightning spiderlings on the ground. And every time it kills something, it has a chance of basically killing more shit. This is a really good leveling staff. It also drops...
Just making sure if it's red, I can't equip it, right?
If it is red, it means it's either unidentified or you cannot equip it, no. Yes. Yes, because no. Yes.
Okay.
So now, we've got level 2 gems. When you use gems and you have a gem equipped that's of a lower level, what it means is that you can either use it to cut another skill gem at that level, or you can use it to upgrade the skill gem of the level you're using. This skill gem, assuming that you want to get a copy of the ones that are in the first tier, like maybe you want the grenade, maybe you want the armor sundering rounds, this would be a chance to cut those. Otherwise, you would use this to level the gems that you currently have to another level. For you, more gems equals more skills, and thus more experimentation. So, I would say get the grenade, because the grenade is a skill that is on a cooldown effect. So you should be able to use it in tandem with your round shots. As for me, I'm going to upgrade my Twister, because it is the only projectile attack alongside the special projectile attack that I get that I need. And now, from here, we would portal back to town. And then we'd use the waypoint to go back to the door that we were at to go to the Growwood. And thus you begin to get into the cycle of explore an area, go to town, find an opportunity to do things in town, and slowly begin selling things for money.
Well, we got about like 8 minutes before the stream session's over, so.
Thank you.
Alright, you want a timer?
I just want to do like 2-hour streams, basically.
I see.
Got other things I need to do as well, and I don't want to
Stay safe if you can.
make all my time just streaming. So
I see.
consistency.
Oh, now this won't cover up.
So now, for doing the quest with Renly, Renly is going to give you access to your first uncut support gem.
Till next time.
What this does is it's going to give you the ability to pick one of the skills that you have equipped, and will give it the effect of something additional to go alongside what you're doing. So, for me, I put retreat level 1 on Twister, and that will make Twister now do 20% more projectile damage if I have damaged an enemy with a melee hit within the last 8 seconds, which as a melee class that is going to constantly find opportunities to get on top of people and do things is very common and very often. With Shred...
Seems like I might be using Permafrost the most out of all of them, because it's a good combination with fragmentation rounds, and Permafrost seems like the starter rounds that I would use before using fragmentation.
Yes, it is your opener.
Yeah.
Fragmentation, the chilling rounds are your opener, and the fragmentation is your follow-up.
So freezing. Oh, are you wanting to trade? Okay, give me 1 second.
Yes, you'll have time. Don't worry.
It disappeared.
I got another flask. I'm just giving you my backup flask.
Oh, okay.
Because this one.
Do I need to put
Yes.
anything on your side?
No. No. You can just accept it and click accept. What it wants you to do is it
reach
wants you
over.
to hover over the item. It's an anti.
Oh, okay.
It's an anti-scam feature. This person said he was going to trade me this. Now, he put this item in the window. I go to click accept. He took it out of the window. I didn't notice. I clicked trade. He scammed me. He disappears with my item and I get nothing in return. It's an It's an automatic do not scam you feature. So if I change this, it's gonna disappear, and then you're gonna have to hover it over it again. So that way you can accept it. That's how that works.
Neat. Okay. And that is a medium one, so I could just probably switch that out
Yes.
then in that case.
Yes. You'd switch it out, and then you'd go to the well, and you'd refill it, and then you'd be good. And the last thing you need to do, or the second to last thing you need to do, is pick your support gem, and then we go to the railwood, where there will be another teleport pad for us to get, because it's the next place to go.
Also, sell all the stuff
Yes, and sell the things that you don't
after.
need.
Okay. Do they need to be identified to disenchant them?
No. Identifying them would
Good.
increase the gold value. If you intend on trashing them, you just disenchant them. If you're intending on identifying them to sell them, you would use a scroll on them, and then you would throw them at the vendor for gold. Right now, you don't have a lot of identifies because they're very rare off the ground.
Okay. So I should keep hold of those if I ever get them, and only use them if I intend to wear them, I guess.
Yes. Until you unlock Deckard Cain, you do not get the ability to identify for free. No. Eventually, you will be able to identify for free. His name is not Deckard Cain, but he is Deckard Cain. If you had played Diablo 2, you would know that Deckard Cain is the person who identifies things for you in town. And you get the ability to get free identifies once that character has been unlocked. But until then, identify scrolls. So you have to pick and choose what you want as an upgrade. It's a way to basically teach you over time how to go about the process of figuring out what's worth keeping and what's worth trashing.
No, it's either elemental or ice bite are the two I'm teetering over.
If you click on show recommended gems at the bottom of the screen, you'll actually get a lot more options.
Oh,
So it's trying to show you things that the designers suggest is good, but you actually have a very large amount that you can potentially cut on this equipment. So, for reference, if you go back to show recommended gems, it's showing you ways to improve the viability of what the skill is trying to do. But the way that it wants to do that is different per each thing. So, Permafrost Bolts wants you to gain a certain effect. So, if you were to increase the damage of Permafrost Bolts, you'd be increasing the damage that it does, when you hit with it, with elemental armament. But if you take Ice Bite, you are actually gaining damage as cold for 5 seconds when you freeze an enemy with permafrost. And that actually provides you more damage, because that's an effect that is across all of your attacks. So your fragmentation rounds, your crossbow shot, your armor-piercing rounds would gain additional damage for 5 seconds
Okay.
when you freeze.
So this would be just even better with the fragmentation.
Yes.
So I should choose ice.
Yes. So,
Okay.
you have 2 sockets to begin. What you would do here is that you'd want to get permafrost bolts with pierce. So, when you shoot the permafrost bolts, it doesn't just stop on the first enemy hit, it penetrates through the pack. So everybody gets frozen solid. And then for 5 seconds you get 25% extra damage as cold on the rest of your fragmentation round damage. Then you blow them up with fragmentation rounds.
Yep. Okay.
Certain skills and certain effects get stronger as you look at different options and different effects that are available to you. But in general, the idea is that you're trying to provide yourself value. You want it to do more things. Not just freeze, but freeze solid, make them stunned, make them pay my bills, make them have my children, etc.
Alright.
Now I've opened a new instance so that we could farm the ball encounter again. Also to just try out the damage as I'm waiting for you.
Okay. Do you want me to just go straight through the portal?
You would go to the checkpoint and you would click on Clearfell and you would open up the instance and go into the instance that I'm currently occupying. 1 second, I need to take a phone call. I also forgot to mention, this would be where if you wanted to click on that button, the little swirl, it would have also brought you into the instance of the map as well. I just want to get you familiar with the instance encounter thing, because you will often sometimes want to farm a zone multiple times, especially for encounters that are present. So, I'm over here killing Beira again, because I want more item drops. And this would be the way that you do that. This is also how you get extra gambles, by the way. Stuff. Looking for.
Oh, that's weird.
What's weird?
Just trying to add the regular crossbow shot, but it turns into armor piercing rounds instead.
That's how it works. The bolt skills transform your basic attack. So
okay.
So when you press the button, you're loading them into your basic attack to then fire them.
Okay.
That's why I was saying that even though it says this about the crossbow bolts, you're actually wielding a gun.
Okay.
It's confusing at first, but it makes sense eventually.
Yeah.
So now,
Well, this is a lot less of a crossbow, more of just a shotgun.
one part shotgun, 1 part machine gun, sometimes partial minigun. It can vary.
We're there.
But now we open this up and we get another round of equipment items that we can pick up to sell. And now we go towards the Grillwood, which is almost always supposed to be opposite the map from the door to the mud barrows.
Yeah.
Now we are inside of the forest that has multiple encounters, one of which includes an encounter for new flasks. The way to get to the next zone that would be necessary is the Red Veil. However, this big-ass tree here is the waypoint.
It yet lives.
The way to figure out where to find this
Foul.
is sometimes guessing, but it's supposed to be the first thing in the zone that you see. And then over here is the Vault encounter.
The Eye of the Storm. Need a moment. Spirit guide me. That's 4.
And now you get another guaranteed drop, which is another Orb of Transmutation. So now you can be able to transform something else into a magic item. This checkpoint is a way for you to get in contact with Una, and the waypoint is for you to teleport, but you don't have to click on it. She's just going to tell you that you need to go to the Red Veil.
Well, yeah.
Oh, this here was someone's home.
Now, over here is a encounter, one of the first hardest ones in the game, that's going to summon Ariadne. And inside this cauldron, she gives you an automatic upgrade to medium life and mana bolts. But as you will learn with how she attacks, since she is a frost witch, this is when you're first going to learn about circles and lines. Stay out of the circle, do not step into the lines. However, for my character, because she is using a form of frozen ground, I can now elementally transform the twisters, which are unfortunately bouncing off because she keeps moving against fucking walls. There we go. And for killing her, you get a guaranteed support gem. Now, you can stick another support gem into another weapon, or into another skill, so to say.
There it is. And in this case, I would get the Pierce then.
Yes. So now we will be looking for the next few encounters. There are 3 in total. This is a group of magic monsters. You can tell by the fact that they don't naturally drop fire effects behind themselves. They have the ability to drop more experience than the regular monster, and they also have a chance of drawing higher equipment. For example, this tense crossbow that's on the ground, which you can't see because you're not here.
Yeah, no, I'm having to deal with another thing.
Enemies chasing you?
A flame one.
Yeah.
Burning me.
Yes.
Okay, and I'm back.
I went the whole loop-de-loop. I went to go to you and I had to deal with a pack of my own. Anyways, this rare crossbow. Pick it up.
Alright. Oh, where?
The rare
Huh?
crossbow. You don't see the tense crossbow?
Oh, there it is.
So that would be an item that you would use an identify scroll on.
Okay, good to know.
In the early game, if it's not yellow, it's usually not worth a scroll of wisdom unless it is something that you're specifically going to use. So because I'm a retard and I did not think about the fact that I would need to use frenzy generation in the early game until I get access to a better form of frenzy generation or of ground generation, I need to find a parry shield or gamble a parry shield. But if I was to find one that was yellow, that would solve all my problems. Otherwise, I would buy it from the gamble screen. And thus you walk through the packs. The smart thing to do when dealing with packs is to move past them and try to collect them into one zone, so you do not need to
Nice, I
backtrack.
got armor.
Very good.
And whatever this smithing hammer is.
That is a physical mace. It has added split fire damage and physical damage, as that is how that class attacks.
But not useful for me.
No. Not unless you intend on using maces.
Wait.
And we keep it moving, and we keep it moving, and we keep it moving. And here we get to the purple people eater. And the purple people.
Boss fight?
Yes. Most bosses have arenas. Once we enter into this zone, he forms the doors to the arena. Or rather, he closes the doors. Watch out for the bramble. You're going to know what it looks like when it happens. If he ever gets the chance to do it. That's not the bramble. That is a version of the bramble. That's the bramble. And you didn't die to it. Good job.
My edge is hurting. And only stopping this rock.
Yeah, that's two things I can't grab right now. Let's see. Apparently I can wear this mask now, but it is not good. Another uncut skill gem. Should I wait until I'm level 3 to use it, or do I just upgrade one of these?
You just upgrade it. Uncut skill gem level 1 corresponds to early game. So skill gem level 1 skill gems. You don't have to wait to be a higher level to upgrade them. You just upgrade them as you go.
Okay. It seems like we need to head back so that I can sell some of this stuff.
Yes.
So I'm gonna
Gorilla the Hunt.
There's a changing talisman. Should I just wait on that then? For that one? Until I get slots for it? Or
Do you want it?
it's unidentified, so I don't know what...
Well, if you plan on using the identified talisman just for the purposes of slipping into wolf form to get faster movement speed, that is something that you can do.
Oh. I thought it was related to the things near the bottom. The
No.
things that aren't available to me yet. Okay,
No,
so...
not the charms.
Alright, yeet.
That would be a belt.
Okay, well, then yeet. Eat that, eat that, wait on that. Okay. And then go to the other guy to sell. Actually, no, I can just go back to her to sell.
Yeah, she can sell. She can be able to buy and sell, as well as being able to disenchant, but only she can disenchant. Every town has a person who's going to be capable of disenchanting. Each town has a blacksmith. Each town has an enchanter. And each town has a gambler.
Got armor scrap. Okay. Empty inventory.
Some strange magic's taken hold of these roots.
Hello.
The old textbook before the start approach.
Stay
Well,
safe.
he doesn't know what he doesn't know, and he doesn't need to get confused on something that does not need to confuse the shit out of him. So it's better that I tell him now than him get confused on his own and get frustrated and upset because he doesn't understand
I like to hold
why
on to
it's not
bits and
making sense to
pieces.
him.
Any that catch your eye?
It's like he had said to me before. He can better understand something that he can make sense of if he's physically looking at it. If he's not physically looking at it, I might as well be speaking Greek.
I will treasure it. Bye.
Ding, ding.
How can I help? What would you like?
How can I help? You can help by selling me a goddamn buckler. Yep, that'll do.
You'll survive well in that. If you find a punter, do bring it back.
Yes? Feeling lucky? Remember us when you're famous, eh?
Nice. Okay. You're in the upper north quadrant of the map. So if you turn and
Yep.
go north, you're going to get to the Grim Tangle.
Where you are?
No, I'm beneath you. I came in by teleport to where you used to be, and it put me on the other side where you used to be in the map. Now,
Oh,
now I'm coming towards you. I'm on the other side of this battlefield from you. And if you go up north, you'll get to the door of the Grim Tangle. I explored while you were in town. And now you go in here.
Oh, right in there? Okay.
Yes, this is a doorway to a zone that takes you to the next zone. But this door is locked until you do the quest proceeding that it wants you to do with Una. So this waypoint is the way to teleport here back immediately. You walk towards it. You don't have to click on it. They made it so that
This guy?
No, not the guy. That's a portal. The waypoint.
Oh. Oh, this.
So this is a door that goes to the next zone. It is impassable until you finish the specific quest that Una sent us on to the Red Veil.
Okay.
So now we go back out this door, and now we click on this checkpoint. Well, at least I click on this checkpoint, because I don't know if you walk south enough to go see the door to the Red Veil. And this checkpoint will take me all the way across the map, and if you open your map, you will see that I'm all the way over at this area. Walk over here. Yes, you can use the checkpoint from the Purple People Eater Arena, and we'll use this to walk all the way south, and this is the door to the Red Veil. In the future, on the next patch, they're going to make it so that if you follow the river, you will find the door to the Red Veil automatically.
This bears the wounds of war.
Alright.
So now, we're in the Red Veil. In this area are going to be little vendors that have items and armor and weapons on them. Those vendors have a chance of dropping a weapon of the next tier above and that is a way for you to get better damage. I don't know if it's going to be better than the crossbow that you found, because I didn't look at the stats of the rare, because I didn't equip it. But as we walk around, clicking on these obelisks of rust,
There's a fifth.
enemies are going to get spawned. And then we kill them. We picked up the rune girdle.
Oh, you've already died. I fought well enough. Almost done with these.
And by doing that, doing this, we now get the level 2 skill gems. And this is a refined arm, which is one of the things that has a chance to drop it. Another refined arm. It dropped a better version of quarterstaff. That's not what we're looking for. Try to follow up against the edge of the wall, because sometimes there are some next to the wall.
Get back!
Because I was in Werewolf and you started shooting them and making them solid, and I started attacking while they were solid, I started cleaving little ice crystals off them, which can explode.
Right.
That's a little bit of cross synergy between the characters. No, I did not plan that. It just happens to work out that way. You just got very lucky and you found a Crimson Amulet. Usually, items like that dropping at this level are very, very rare. Just like this.
I also have this linen belt.
Yes. So now you have access to at least a charm slot. That's if a charm drops. I don't think a charm is allowed to drop until we do a certain part of Finn's quest, which begins in the zone after the zone that the Red Veil is going to send us to. But we won't have time for that in this stream because you're going to have to leave soon. But I am trying to get you to the Red King.
And after that, I'd say we'd stop there.
Yes. Because then the next point,
Okay.
the next checkpoint at that point would be going to the Grim Tangle to go to the Cemetery of the Ancients. And that's just another zone inside of Act 1. So you're doing various little mini levels that take you all throughout the act as the theme of this zone. Because you're basically going through what is the battlefield of a clan. Like Celtic clans. These are the Ezemites. Basically think of them as New Zealand Vikings. Technically New Zealanders are Vikings, but New Zealand Vikings.
Batten down the hatches.
And this is one of their bloody battlefields. So the people that we're killing are basically fallen soldiers. Reanimated by the blood of the ancients. Because they still want to fight. And Luna's quest that she gave us was for us to go and basically get the runes that those other people were wearing. Found an iron spear, beautiful. Was to get the runes that these warriors were wearing to put together a runic seal that will allow us to unbind the hidden one from the tree. The one that was lynched on the tree.
Scroll of wisdom, makeshift crossbow, guard.
Yet the spirits stay silent.
Use that on this crossbow, and oh boy, that's a lot. Cold, increase attack speed. Alright, just showed that right on there. Okay. On to the next area.
Yeah, I do believe you do have the upper upgrade because the 10's crossbow just dropped, but that's the same base as the base that you got for your other bow.
Seems like it, yeah.
If you hadn't gotten that lucky yellow, you would have picked up that and you would have tried to roll on that. Now do you see why I say it's like
And-
identifying with extra steps?
Yeah. I now have another crossbow.
Come on. Hold on. Need a moment. The eye of the storm.
Iron Crown. Socketed Iron Head Spear. Now you feel like you're getting a little bit more experience with what the skills do and how they function with each other?
Yeah, I'd say so.
Yeah, it's second nature once you really get used to it. Now, I'm making you read them because you have to understand that reading the item explains the item. I cannot stress that enough.
Need more time.
The number one mistake is that people just bash things together. Because cool thing, but reading the item explains the item. That was a Nettle Talisman. Can I have that?
Which one is it?
Nettle Talisman.
Yeah, okay.
You can just drop it
How
on the
do I
ground.
trade thing?
To trade, you would right-click on my portrait and you'd go down to trade. But when we're standing in a zone that isn't town, you can just drop it on the ground and I can pick it up after you.
Okay.
Neat. It dropped attack speed.
Tattered robe as well.
That one I don't need. And a desert rune too? What the fuck is my drop rate right now? And another Nettle Talisman. And then here's the last Obelisk of Rust.
The wind howls.
This one is going to spawn a boss because the order in which we kill them doesn't matter. But once you hit the third one, it will summon the boss. He stands united. And now this forms the Rust King.
And he's frozen, and I get to shoot him, and then I go back. Yes.
Ouch. Unfortunately, you unfroze him too quickly, so I was not able to juice
Oh.
the ice crystals in order to explode that. So, not being able to know what was about to happen next, I ate all that damage to the face and died.
I am sorry.
Well, this is the side of the game that you get to learn about. Tandem play with other players. You didn't know that you were going to end up consuming that freeze. So when you consumed the freeze too quickly to start rotating through the damage, you forgot there was another person.
Yeah.
Sometimes it is useful to know how things work, because that is an example of why I told you how the skill works. And yet another Nettle Talisman, and this one is rare. That is the reason why I walked you through why things work. Because I can already see a person on kick that is acting like, why are you telling the man how to do it? Just let the man play the game now. So, because I told him your attack consumes freezes. Tactically, on the alternate timeline, where he thinks about it, freeze the enemy, armor rounds to sunder them, fragmentation round to increase the burst of the freeze explosion. Because I think you have both of them, do you not?
Both of what?
You set the sundering round, the armor breaking rounds.
Yeah, the armor piercing rounds, yeah.
So, the optimal air quote combo would have been freeze him, sunder him, blow him up. Because I told you that my shred allows me to create ice fragments against frozen enemies, I was in his shotgun range to put ice crystals down that would have blown him up. Without knowing you were going to remove the freeze, I walked into melee range to die. That's an example of flowcharting. It's not a big deal.
Okay.
It's not a big deal. I'm only explaining it the way that I'm explaining it to impress upon you that it can happen that fast. Like, you get in a cycle and you're like, it's not a big deal. I can do what I want. It's not a big deal. I can do what I want. And then you blow yourself up and it's like, what the fuck happened? How did he unfreeze? I thought I'd freeze all time. And it's like, read the skill. It explains the skill. Consumes freeze doesn't mean it consumes the freeze after a period of time. You press the button, it takes the CC away. So milking him for damage there. If you freeze him, that gives you time in order to sunder him, which will give you just enough time to then explode him. Getting into a cycle of that is important, because your skills work together.
Yeah.
Now I have Flames of Frost, so it is the case that I now can create my own ability to create chilled ground, as well as freezing the enemy when I stab them. Doing this is going to make it so that I can be able to apply that freeze damage and make my twisters better.
Just checking.
Yes.
The higher skill gems, the third level ones, those are evolutions of the ones before, right?
No, they're all a part of the same kill tree. You just can't cut the ones unless you have a skill gem of that type. So if you look at my screen, when I use this level 2, because I just used my level 3 to carve Fangs of the Frost, it will tell you several things. So, when I hover over Fangs of the Frost, warning, you already have a socketed skill of this gem type. I can't cut multiple. To cut another Fangs of the Frost, I'd have to unequip the Fangs of the Frost that I am equipped with. A little bit of a downgrade from the PoE one, because I could just buy multiple copies and cut multiple copies. But that's because you're buying the skill, or finding the skill, versus cutting it from a gem cutting window. They could make a change in the future that makes it UI, but this is like SSF shit that you don't have to worry about right now. But then it also says, level 3 uncut gem required to engrave. You go down to every single one of these tiers, on top of a level requirement and a stat requirement, it's going to tell you that you need a gem of that level to cut. If I hover over Barrage, level 14 required, 28 dexterity required, level 5 uncut gem required. For this act, the highest gem level that you're going to get from a quest giver, called Latus, is level 5. So you're going to get various cuts of level 1s, level 2s, level 3s, level 4, and then eventually when you get to Lettuce, a level 5 skill gem to get a single cut of a gem that you think that you need. Level 1s and level 3s are common. So you'll get to play around with these first two tiers. In the sense that they evolve the skills that you get access to, yes. In the sense that you could use a level 3 cut gem to level up a skill gem you already have, also yes. But you're using it to get more skills, to increase the diversity of your skill pool. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
Yes. So, the first two gems increase the amount of skills you have. The next few gems level them up so they're all equal to level. Because levels equals damage and efficiency of utility. Bigger freezes, longer freezes, higher burns, more shocking, higher amplification of damage from shock, more base damage in the gem itself. We're both using a martial / physical class, so the higher our skill base, the higher the multiplicative value of the output of our gem gets. If we were a spell-based class, most of our gem level controls the power of our gem. So it would control the power of the damage itself when you press the button. So my character level controls the damage of my spear throw. But it's controlled by the damage on my spear. That's why you want a better weapon. Because your actual output is dependent upon the base damage that you're doing. So this hardwood spear does not have as much damage as these iron heads. 5 to 9, 9 to 12. By getting a higher tier spear, I am increasing the potential damage that I can do. Same thing with the Nettle Talismans. The Nettle Talisman not only gives me access to these suffixes, I'm increasing the range at which I can do damage with. So getting extra fire damage and lightning damage, like I just did on this Nettle Talisman, is going to give me more damage because that's plus damage on top of the physical damage. Just like if I was to get extra physical damage from a ring, is going to increase my general attack damage pool as well. And if it was the case that I had a special weapon that not only granted me multipliers, such as that two-handed staff I got from the worm, if it was the case that that staff had a basic attack that was dependent upon that effect happening, it would use that weapon to dictate the damage of the auto attack. For us, the auto attack is our basic weapon skill attack, which is your crossbow bolt. But it's using your bolt skills as the skills you're doing damage with. So it still affects your actual final damage calculation. If you were to click on the arrow that's next to the skill where it says damage per second, you can see a breakdown of how that works. It shows you the final calculations of the skill, and it shows you the final calculation of the damage that will come from the skill, as well as its effective accuracy, its critical hit chance, and the ailment power of things like how long will it slow, how long will it attack, how long will it blah blah blah. Alright. So now you can go back to town, and you can start identifying and then selling or keeping any of the things that you want to keep. Then I'd say that's a good stopping point for you.
Sorry, I was just elsewhere.
Let's see if there's anything that I might need to actually... I still have an uncut gem. It's a level 3, so...
This would be where you use that level 3 to carve something else that is going to do exactly what I just described, which is something that's going to give you a little bit more effective power.
So the high velocity rounds?
Something like that, yes. If that's what you're interested in getting, get it. At this point, you should be familiar enough with it that I don't have to tell you what you should take. It should just make sense. Get what makes sense. Read it, but get what makes sense.
Sorry,
Yeah.
I like to hold
And then
on to
there's
bits and pieces.
a couple other items that I want to get.
I like this one.
But I'm guessing that I'll probably have to leave those behind.
You can actually go back and pick all of them up as long as you put them into your stash. That's how maps work. Basically, every tile set we go into is a zone that you can be able to pilfer from. You go in, you kill the enemies, you loot the entire zone, you take the items back to town, identify them, you look at whether or not they're valuable to you. If they're not valuable, sell them. If they are valuable and they're magic but you don't need the money, disenchant them. And then continue upgrading things until everything you wear is blue. At minimum.
Stay safe, if you can. Yes? Finn makes fun of my It's beautiful. I accept. Stay safe, if you can.
Yeah, it seems to be everything. And what should I do about the Clearfell encampment? The night guy has the sun sigil.
The night guy that has the sun sigil. You mean the glowing spike over Renly's head?
No.
Okay.
Like if you go back to the arena,
okay,
you'll see...
that's a portal. That's a portal. That's a portal. That's a portal effect. That is the Knights of Value portal effect. It looks like a knight. His sword is a portal.
Oh, okay.
That is it. You are getting confused by the microtransaction.
This is all your fault.
Yeah, because I have automated portals on, so every single time I open a portal, it opens a different portal, and then happened to open the night version. Yeah, no, that is a portal. I was getting confused for a second, like, what night? There's no night here. And then I had to think about it, and like, he's confused on my portal. But okay.
If you find a window, what would you like?
Alright, so I'm keeping the amulet, I'm guessing.
Yes.
And then
You're keeping and equipping it.
once I identify it, of course.
Yes.
Which is what I'll do right now. 6% plus 2 lightning resistant. And 4 life regeneration per second. Off on... Off on this one and then eat everything else off. Alright, well, I guess I'm done for now.
Mm-hmm. The next thing that we would do is that you would take the spikes back to the growwood tree, and you would hammer them into the spikes, and then you would talk to Una, and then talk to her again in town, and then you'd have to talk to her again inside of the tree stump to open the path forward to go towards the graveyard.
Yeah. And then I guess I will end the stream from there.
Mm-hmm.
Just press that button. And I'll get ready to leave the game.
Mm-hmm. So that's your first session. How do you feel?
Well, it was a little bit different from what I was expecting.
What were you expecting?
Not much, honestly. I wasn't really sure what the playstyle was going to be like, but yeah, now I understand a lot better on what you were saying before, and it makes a lot more sense.
Mm-hmm. Now, I have no idea what kind of context you have for Path of Exile, except for what I've told you. So if you'd heard anything more about it, what would you have imagined it was going to be like? Flowchart simulator?
No. Give me a second. I'd probably think of it a lot more as, honestly, I honestly had no idea of what was gonna be like. What was the thing?
Okay.
I don't think there was anything I was assuming on what kind of game it would be like based on what you were telling me.
Okay. Thank you for that advice, Beyond X. If you're going grenade bills, there's synergy for going a Chronomancer, but they start at the top of the tree with spell damage passive nodes, meaning that if you did that build, you'd have to go stats and some mana defense before you escape to the top of the tree and to attack nodes that you can use. So what Beyond's describing is he's describing an agnostic build. So, no character is locked into using a certain type of weapon. Just because you got a crossbow doesn't mean you need to use a crossbow. What he's describing is starting as an agnostic class to the playstyle that you intend on using in the endgame. So if you were to find a crossbow, and you were to play a sorceress class, and you turned that sorceress into a Chronomancer as an ascendancy, you would have the ability to synergize grenade builds that are based on cooldown reduction, because she innately has the ability to reset cooldown reductions and get some serious recoup on her life pool and her mana pool. Massive defenses, massive recouping of defensive trees. Because the tree that you're going is going to be partially defensive with mostly offensive choices. The thing he's describing is going a mostly defensive build and then building into core offense. Since grenade skills are like spells, your damage would come from your grenade spam. So,
Yeah.
you would have to go stats to equip the weapon that you want in the first place. So you'd have to use some kind of leveling build to get there. But then you'd build mana and defense so that you could then begin moving towards the tree nodes that you want that are going to be on the right side of the tree so that you can actually get viability into your ranged damage until you finally come all the way down from the top of the tree into the dexterity parts of the tree to get effects for bows or crossbows, in this case crossbows, to be able to weaponize grenades and then build from there. This is something that I said was going to be harder to do. There are some that are much easier because you don't have to go that far, but that would be something that requires having the knowledge that I just gave you and then building upon it to then be like, I wonder what would happen if I put this type of item on that kind of character. Doing it this way, you instead understand how that character is supposed to play, so you actually have a background of knowledge to say, I know how grenade skills work, but I don't know how grenade skills work on a sorceress. Let's see what happens if I build a chronomancer. Let's see how it works. It's kind of the wild, wacky shit you can do at that point.
So a lot of creativity after a while.
Yes, you start freestyling.
Okay. But at the beginning, there's kind of just a set ideal path to go.
Not so much set, but cookie cutter.
Okay.
Not quite idiot proof, but here's the skill, here's what it does. Have fun from there.
Alright.
I'll show you did pretty fine. You didn't make any necessary mistakes. If you were by yourself, it would be the case that you would have never died. Which is good, because most people struggle, and then they get angry, because they're like, why is this like Thanos? So you never had any of those problems. I don't know if it would have been the same if you were here by yourself doing it, while learning in isolation. But the entire reason why I've been waiting and have been excited to do this is because I don't ever get to teach people how to play the game. And this is something that is very fun to teach people to do.
Okay. I'm guessing the next time I play it, ideally you want to join in as well.
Yes.
Okay. I'll have a repeat on Monday. I'll have time for that. It's not like Bill Skur is gonna do the watch togethers on Mondays every Monday, so
I see.
it'll be fun there.
Okay. And then eventually, once the league releases, since the content's asynchronous, anytime that I'm online and around, I'm more than likely going to be playing the game. I'll have to tell you all if I'm streaming or not, because I can't do that while I'm in DevCord, because all of those people are terrified of a camera. But if I am live on the channel, it is the case that I can pop over, take a call in from you, and let's do it together while I'm also on air.
Okay.
I'm going to continue leveling this character, but I will see you when you come back online. Fortunately, they have the ability to level down scale your character, so it's not going to be the case that I'm going to be level like 70 and I'm going to crypt stomp everything into the ground. I still have to be leveled down to the zones that I'm in, because that's how the campaign works. If you're in the party with another person, that is.
All right, so that way it's balanced.
Yes.
Okay. I got things I gotta fix that I haven't thought of before for streaming.
He's in.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm still relatively new with streaming, and having to stream via full screen gives me unintended things that I did not want to deal with.
Well, next time when you fix it back, you should be able to fix it to Windows full screen, and it should work off of game window capture. That way you don't have to worry about it being locked in the full screen.
Only
Okay.
goodbye.
Well, it should have been able to just detect the game that's on full screen was the thing, but
Yeah.
When I get the, but even when I got like decided to just just capture and then click on the game that I was playing, it still showed up completely black. So that just
Yeah, it might be the case that you might have. It might be the case that you might have had to do a plug-in hook, but it should just be as simple as choosing the option and going from there. I'd have to see your OBS settings to help you with it.
I'll figure it out. It's fine. As for other things, I got some anonymity stuff I need to add.
Okay.
Otherwise, yeah, you have a good rest of your day. I got some things I need to catch up on.
Okay.
See ya.
Bye.
Goodbye.
He's unfortunately left, but I'm going to screen cap this and I'm going to send this to him. I sent him a screen cap of everything you sent me on, so he'll be able to see it in his DMs.
You're mine. Your blood runs cold.
Boy, can I not wait for Frost Tip.
Need more time.
Already found the checkpoint.
him.
Wait.
Could use a bit
How have
of
you
fix
been,
in this place.
Peon? I haven't seen you in a bit. Clap, 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 clap.
Guessing this opens the door beyond. Whole place is moving like
How
can
far should I
feel
go?
the power still shivering through these walls.
I guess this can serve as my twister practice.
Wind's fury. Come on.
Not bad. Not a mixed defense helmet. Another rare equipment modifier. Nice. Now I double back. Yes, sir.
Hold on.
Yes. More damage.
Clean kill.
Yes. Life for getting killed is pretty good. Not only did I get a hybrid, I ended up getting flat, but a more accuracy rating hybrid. It is what it is. Lost one connection.
I heard you're heading for the... If you find a fight out there, don't bring it back.
Yes?
Yes,
These are
around.
just some odds and ends of mine. Finn makes fun of my collection, but I think it's charming.
Not bad.
It's beautiful. Except I. Yes, I've collected these over. Oh, I like this one. Stay safe if you can.
Life regeneration, mana, armor, stun polish. I doubt there's a better spear.
Take a look.
Never mind, Carl stands corrected.
You've a keen eye. Till next time.
Hello.
No whammy, 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 no whammy. It's like about the same difference.
Spirits in a tree. So, who knows what prize? I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it, but cheers. Go make a legend or two.
The Eye of the Storm. You're mine. Man or beast? What are you? I only hope the Asmarian kept
We-
clear some rock.
And now I put Whirling Slash with Rage. And now I go to the exit. My money has been abducted.
Hold on.
That was almost a challenge.
Very nice.
The Eye of the Storm.
Show me a ring I can use. Show me a ring I can use. Give it to me. 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 Give me the ring that I may need. My spell.
My dearest daughter, beloved for all
Fucking
time.
Lazuli.
Rest.
How dare you?
Reckon it's time to put this Draven to bed. Storm's coming! You should have stayed buried. Quick!
Another bolt. Maximum versus recovery. Storms coming.
Twist.
I feel coming. No. I have to use this until I get access to making frost ground from the chill effect.
Come on! A worthy foe!
I will not have eternity to wonder upon my foolish decisions here. I'm going to walk over here, and then I'm going to come back to you after I steal your money. That's what I'm going to do. That's what's going to happen. Although I do hate that I have to go all the way around the start. sir. Storm's coming again. Ain't nobody gonna see you now. Yeah, I'm not even in the fucking zone. Chill your fucking horses, leave me alone. I'm eating on your back hole. And you don't know, no. I'm eating on your back hole. Creeping Chill. Consume a power charge to create a creeping kill on an ice crystal that's been created. No. Frost Nexus. Create chilled ground when they freeze enemy. Ice tipped fragments. Frost Nexus. I believe that's how the combo works. Yeah. That is how that works. In the meantime, right, let's get it on.
Carl cuts deepest.
The spirit's yearn. Rend your soul. You cannot stop me.
I'm bent double.
Push you in the corner and shot on your ass.
Yes. Please, take your time. It's beautiful. I accept.
That's a really good mace. Why does the really good shit appear when I'm not playing it? Tell me why you do, why you do. Tell me why it is, tell me And you ain't trying to do it to me, babe. Now tell me. Oh, tell me why you do. Tell me why it is. Tell me why you doing it to me, babe. Now tell me. Pa 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 pa.
Submit! Lightning strikes twice! Exiled, but unbroken.
I'm getting really lucky right now. But only in drops that have nothing to do with what I need.
Proof of my prowess!
Oh, Lapis. Oh, there's my intelligence. Give me fucking stats. Hey, that's pretty good. Hey, that's pretty good. Tell me what you need. Tell me it ain't good enough for you, babe. Now tell me what you want. And tell me what you need.
Come on!
Tell me that it's good enough for you, babe. And tell me. And tell me what you do. And tell me what you do. Motherfucker!
Back off!
Insolence! Right of the fourth moon! Crimson of Raven! Now! How dare you disturb me! Right of the fourth to me, Draven! You are mine forever! Beloved Draven is
Stop calling your boyfriend. Oh my god, get some hands, girl.
Your witchcraft.
How many times you gonna call for Draven? He ain't coming. He don't want you. Yo, coochie dirty. I need to fucking bank. I need to fucking bank all this shaft. I need to bank. And you want, and me want,
It makes fun of my collection, but I think it's charming.
Tell me what you want.
I will treasure it.
Tell me what you need. Tell me you ain't gonna knock for it. Just tell me. Ironically, this is better for damage.
Another for my
Tell
collection.
me what you want. And tell me what you need. And tell me it ain't gonna knock for you, baby. Just tell me what you want. Tell me what you need. Tell me it ain't gonna knock for you, baby. Tell me what you want. Then tell me what you need. Tell me it ain't good enough for you, baby. Tell me all I feel for you. Feel it never lasts. Feel it coming back. Feeling high. Feel the way. I wanted this to be better. You need to roll fucking better and better, but you didn't. I'm gonna feel the way that I do.
Sorry, I was.
Cause I was a man and girl who sound like. You tell me that you take me here for a lifetime. Oh, I'm begging to know. Tell me yours and I'll show you mine. Oh, what I need from you. Do what I like. And do what you like. Oh, 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 oh.
One of my finest.
And if you say what you like, oh, you tell me baby what you like. You show me how you need for a lifetime. How you need, baby. You know, and then I'll show you mine. You do yours and then I'll do mine. Hanging out for a whole lifetime. Whole lifetime. Tell me yours and I'll show you mine. Tell me yours and I'll tell you mine. Tell me all for a lifetime. All for a lifetime, honey. No, I want you, baby. I want you to be. Oh, as you wanna see, baby girl, won't you say the lines? Baby girl, won't you say the lines? Show me yours and then I'll show you mine. You show me yours, I'll show you mine. Baby yours and going on mine. If you don't, send me off the side. Tell me there's another be for a lifetime.
Straight through the eye.
Oh, so ain't good to know, baby girl. If you will show me yours, I'll show you mine, baby girl. You show me yours, I'll show you mine, baby girl. Who's out of
You're
line?
just dead, Barry.
Oh, girl, won't you say Show me yours and I'll show you mine. You show me yours, I'll show you mine. Yeah, it is the case that they just freeze now. You show me yours, and I'll show you mine.
Are they not in me back already?
Can you see? Can you see? And baby, I'll show you mine.
Rather than price.
Show me yours, 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 yours,
Yes, I've collected these over time. What do you think?
I'll show you yours, and I'll show you mine, 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 all mine, all mine. Show me mine.
Another for my collection. Thank you.
And I'll show you mine. And show you mine. And show you mine. And show you
Another for my collection. Thank you.
Show you mine. Mine. Show you mine. Show you mine. Show you mine.
May it serve you well.
No.
Hello, please.
Just take the L.
Take your time. I suppose I can let that one go.
if you think so, cause it's not on the intent. You tell me yours, 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 yours. This is a better state of yours, 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 yours.
Rest now. You're with your kin at last.
How old that way?
Spirit's breath. Some said.
You know.
Aye, the work's done. Ready? Go on then.
Back off!
Try and keep up. Don't lose sight of it.
Naught but bad energy about that. I should ask Finn what's what.
Stay on it!
Wait!
The spirit's made its choice. Time to finish this. The spirit still calls.
Need a moment.
Almost there. Don't give up now.
A worthy foe!
I see you still got the knack for this. I see now. These wisps. Aye, watch yourself,
The
traveller.
thrill of the hunt!
We're finally here. Yeah.
Cold cuts deepest!
Ow.
I've been itching for a good hunt. Feisty, are we? Wind fury.
I don't think I'm supposed to be able to hit it like that. Boink.
There's no beast alive can best me.
I swear you mine. You shall me yours. You shall me yours. You shall me yours.
Whirling.
Yours. And I show you mine. You show me yours now. Show you mine. You show me yours now. You mine.
Abomination.
Show me yours now. Show you mine. You show me yours now. Show me yours now. Love you mine. Love you mine.
Clean kill.
Love you mine. Yes, you're mine. Yes, you're mine. Yes, you're mine. You show me yours, and I show you mine. You show me yours, I show you mine. You show me yours, I show you mine. You show me yours, I show you mine. You show me, you show me, you show me, you show me yours, and you show me, you show me, you show me yours, and you show me, you show me, you show me yours, and I show you mine. Show me, you show me, you show me, you show me yours, and you show me, you show me, you show me yours, you show me, you show me, you show me. Show me yours. I show me, show me, show me, show me yours. Show me yours. Show me yours. Show me yours. Show me yours.
Lightning strikes twice.
Show me yours. 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 Show me mine. Show me yours. Show me mine. Show me yours.
A worthy
Show
foe.
you mine. Yeah, only you I can feel the top. Feeling nothing on the top. And I find myself alive. Find myself feeling on the way, blowing over the top. Feeling on the way, closer, falling on top of you. Only for you. And all I need is you to want to know inside. Don't forget what you want to do is fast. It's you what you want to do is fast. Find yourself and I can only give it up, give it up. You know what you want to do is fast. You know what you want to do is fast. I didn't pick up a skill book. But retarded, something wrong with me, something wrong with me. What's wrong with me? I'm pretty sure that Twister is intact. Yes, it is. Which way from here? Because I'd have to go across Combat Alchemy. I don't want to go back across Combat Alchemy. Pretty sure if I just go straight to main, it's fine. Yeah, I'm going straight to main.
The wind howls. Die, beast.
Exalted. Still gotta go to Wraiththorn.
I held a little while back a good seat. Will you pay them a visit? See you.
You found.
I do not want to buy more fucking things. C'est tout stupid, pide tote cutscene.
I don't know how it's in my. Stacy. This.
Yes,
So if we.
remain vigilant.
Hello.
30, 20. See, that's just exceptionally good. I'm gonna hold that for him.
Finn makes fun of my collection. Stay safe, if you can.
I wanna go and clean the kitchen. Cause I think it's almost time to go and start my DS server. Alright. Good work. Good job.